grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew!
Rock out with your favorite bands at Lost 80s Live at Cocoa Booth Amphitheater, August 3rd. Grab your tickets at etix.com today.
Every second counts in a poison emergency. That's why Poison Help is standing by 24/7 to provide free assistance in over 100 languages. Save Poison Help as a contact in your phone today. Poison Help. 1-800-222-1222.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Very confident SMU would be a great addition for the ACC and be able to compete for ACC titles when they came in the league. Now, I thought it would take a couple years, maybe 2 or 3. They did it in year 1. They've got resources. They got a great football coach. They got a returning quarterback who might be the most slept-on starting quarterback in the country. Yes, I think they should be in the conversation of, if not Clemson, who else could potentially win?
It's the Adam Gold Show, and welcome to the Hilton in Uptown Charlotte. ACC Football Media Day, day 1 for me. Day 1, they look exhausted here. All of the assembled Fourth Estate as we wrap up day 3 of ACC Media Day, and it is the North Carolina Day, the old North State Day here at ACC Kickoff. We've got State, we've got Duke, we've got UNC. They have their turn, along with the likes of Clemson, Virginia Tech, and Boston College. I am Adam Gold. Thank you very much. Victoria's here. She in camera? Can we see her?
Oh,
no, there
hi.
she is. There's
Hi.
Victoria. Dave Modelin is producing on site. Graham Hill making his. Is this it?
Hello.
Oh, no, you're going to be here tomorrow too, right?
Paul Ihander
Not
and I
here,
will be.
but you're back in the studio.
Yes, not in Charlotte. Paul Ihander and I will be hosting your show tomorrow for. We'll call it the farewell show. How about that? Like John Cena's been saying, the last time is now.
Speaking of John Cena, before we begin, R.I.P. Hulk Hogan, who we have the 3. These things always happen in 3s. Hulk Hogan. We lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo Huxtable, and Ozzy Osbourne. Those are your 3. Really very different types of people too. Anyway, so R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. An absolute wrestling, cultural, iconic legend. So there you go. And I don't even know the circumstances, but it was just told to me a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
Breaking news.
It is. I guess it is breaking news. I mean, it just happened.
It's a sad week.
Right. So, yeah. All right. We got a lot of things to do here at ACC Football Media Day. Dave Doeren's going to hang out with us next hour. It wouldn't be an ACC Media Day without the irreplaceable Wes Durham, who is going to join us in just about 10 or so minutes. We will also hear from Bill Belichick in just a couple. I have quickie thoughts before we let you hear from North Carolina's head coach. At some point, college football will again be just about college football. At some point, we're going to talk about the games. This year, it's not like we're never going to talk about it. But for now, there are a wall of issues standing in the way. You've got playoff expansion and what that looks like. Name, image, and likeness, and all of the offshoot conversations that come with that, including whatever is actually happening in the House of Representatives right now. It's going to pass the House, probably along party lines. My understanding is that what I've read is that it will not pass the Senate, so we're back to square one anyway. There's also transfer portal shenanigans. All of these things stand in the way of just dealing with the game itself. Set that aside. It's a huge year for ACC football, an enormously important season. The league's got to be better than it was a year ago. We don't have to get into the numbers. We all know what happened. What teams do outside of conference play establishes the currency for what all of your in-league games are worth. It can minimize the damage of a conference loss. I still have not wrapped my mind around why Miami wasn't in part of the conversation for one of those last playoff spots based on what they did during the season. That will come up, I promise, throughout the program today. And we're going to talk about the team at the top, too. Like, I'm not sure there is more pressure on any team in the country to win, more so than the Clemson Tigers. Or a player, for that matter, with more to prove than Cade Klubnik, who has been really good until those games come in which he has to be great. Because he wasn't great against Georgia in the opener. He wasn't great against South Carolina in the last game of the regular season. Now, he was good enough in the ACC championship game against SMU. But if you go back and you watch that game, you go, man, SMU was really bad early on, which set the table for Clemson to win that game and get into the playoff. But again, we'll talk playoff with Dave Doeren, by the way. I'm looking forward to that. All right, so that's that. Now, let's hear from a coach who was not here today, but because we're going to talk about Bill Belichick here in a couple of seconds. Pat Narduzzi, Pitt head coach, on Belichick and Narduzzi's expectations of that head coach and his football program.
Well, I'll be shocked if he doesn't have success. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm no genius over here, but he's a heck of a football coach. But it takes players and it takes coaches. Okay? It takes a program together. It takes everybody moving in the same direction. So I'm sure with the president there in North Carolina, the new AD now coming in, and Belichick and his entire staff, they'll do a hell of a job. I expect him to do a championship game against you got Bill Belichick. You better be, right?
All right, so maybe a little bit difficult to hear, but based on changes at UNC, Bill Belichick, new AD coming in to start next year, that he expects Belichick to have Carolina in the championship game. I do think a little bit of that was tongue-in-cheek. Nobody expects North Carolina to be in the mix for the ACC championship game this year. But here's what I would love to ask Bill Belichick. In what is his time frame? What has to be accomplished between now and the time where North Carolina does challenge for ACC supremacy, a spot in the college football playoff? How far is how long is the journey? How long should fans expect to wait before we get to that point? These are the things I would like to know. Or, as they asked him earlier today in a little bit of a breakout session with local media, what is Bill Belichick's vision for the future of UNC football?
The future right now for us is the start of camp. And then the future after that will be the first week of camp and so forth. So short term, we got a lot of things we need to do, and we need to use our time efficiently. Every team's got the same opportunity, right? They got the same number of practices, 25 practices in 31 days where they open the season, whatever it is. So, we need to use our time and our opportunities as productively as we can to get our team ready to go, and that'll be the same way every week as we prepare for games. So, I'm not going to get into where we're going to be 10 years from now. I don't know where we're going to be 10 days from now, but we're going to take each one of these days and try to make it as productive as possible and see where we are at the end of the day, what we need to go back and spend more time on, what we feel good about, we can move ahead on.
All right. Now, when you look at where North Carolina is and where some of the teams ahead of them in the ACC are, here's one thing we don't know about UNC because there has been so much turnover in the roster. We literally don't know how good the personnel is. We just don't. And Bill did actually talk a little bit about because he's not sure. Does he have any sense of what the strength of his team is, even as we're still, a month away or so from the start of the regular season?
No, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We have a long way to go. We've got a lot of new players, so we'll see what happens when we get out there and start playing. But I'm excited to see them play, and they've worked hard. And as I said, they're in good condition, and I think they're excited and they're ready to go. So I'll see where it takes us.
Bill's in the same boat as all of us. We have really no idea. What is he enjoying the most about coaching a college program?
It's just honestly, all the people that have been involved in the program. As I said, the donor events have been, several hundred there, alumni and friends and, people in administration. It's really fun to be part of a school. I grew up in Annapolis at the Naval Academy, and there's only one team. There's Navy. It didn't matter if it was Navy baseball, Navy lacrosse, Navy football, Navy swimming, Navy this, Navy that. Like, you always rooted for the same team. And it was a lot of different teams. And of course now, they didn't have women's sports in it, but now with the women's sports and success of the men's and women's programs at North Carolina, it's fun to go to the other games, talk with the other coaches, interact with those student athletes. We have student athletes on our team that have also played other sports at Carolina.
Bill enjoying the college experience. That's awesome. All right, speaking of the college experience, the one and only Wes Durham will join us at ACC Football Kickoff. You already saw him on camera if you're watching it on YouTube. He will join us next.
Making more sports sense than social media trolls. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Join 99.9 The Fan live from Charlotte this week as we bring you the stories from ACC Football Kickoff. Touchdown, Carolina! We'll talk with the impact players and coaches from Carolina, Duke, and State and get their thoughts on the new college football season. Don't miss a single minute. It's ACC Football Kickoff. Touchdown, Wolfpack! Presented by Wilkinson Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Sanford. Listen on 99.9 The Fan. Watch with 99.9 The Fan on YouTube.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Gordon Miller. Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary, home of the original no closing cost mortgage, which allows homeowners like myself to save thousands of dollars, never paying closing costs, and I am an 11-time customer with Miller Lending. I asked Google, have mortgage rates dropped? And the answer was yes. They have dropped recently. In fact, they have dropped for a 5th consecutive week, just a little bit, as of mid-July. That's good because as the rates are coming down, now we know that rates will go lower. So if you're getting a mortgage now, just get it. 6 months from now, 8 months from now, a year from now, you refinance free of charge, don't pay closing costs, lower your monthly payment. This is the way you play the mortgage game. Don't worry about timing. Just get your mortgage. Go to Miller Lending, millerlending.com. Great website, helpful videos. This is the way to go. And again, I'm an 11-time customer. Miller Lending on Kildare Farm Road in Cary, an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 2502146.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
It's the July to save, all month long at Wilkinson Chevrolet GMC in Sanford. What's even better than summer? Big July savings. Hurry in now. These deals are hot. Get up to $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 or finance at 5.9%. Or get up to $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 GMC Sierra 2500 HD. In person at Wilkinson Chevrolet GMC in Sanford or online at wilkinsoncars.com. See dealer for details.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Want to score points with your boss? Recruit RoofWorks to your building maintenance team to handle your commercial roofing needs. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We've helped hundreds of Triangle businesses with their commercial roof maintenance, repairs, and if necessary, total replacements. Our pros come to your site, assess your roofing needs, and then give you a range of options to fit your budget. And we'd love to work with you. For roof maintenance and repair, contact us today at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
This is Adam Gold.
I have so many questions too. Like, is the mom going to be in the business too? Are we going to have like themed UNC products? She's in it, so.
Interesting ram horn you've got there.
Yeah.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. We are live at ACC Football Kickoff at the Hilton in Uptown Charlotte. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you very much. YouTube, search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan. That was the one and only Wes Durham, the voice of the Atlantic Coast Conference. The reason the league sends out $45 million per school. He is the reason. You don't deliver that personally, do you?
I would if asked.
You would?
Yeah,
you would
sure.
do like Ed
I'd walk
McMahon?
around and hand out the check like Ed McMahon.
Ed, right?
You damn right I would. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much for sitting down.
It's always great to see you. This proves we're just getting older every time we do this. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I do miss Saturday mornings at the ACC basketball tournament only for those conversations. Our Saturday morning stuff.
Some would argue that we were ahead of our time at the ACC basketball tournament.
Always.
I think we may have been anywhere from 6 to 8 years ahead of our time. And wow, ladies and gentlemen, you talk about your celebrity sightings.
Bubba Cunningham
Good to
is
see
here.
you, short timer.
Yeah, he's already got 1 foot out the door.
Yeah. He's got a tea time. Go ahead.
He looks like he does. All right. Let's start with some. Do want to go through some issues real quick.
Okay.
I want to spend more time on football because I think we've got a lot of football things to get
unpack.
to.
Yeah.
First of all, and this is more about football. It's a big year for the league with the lawsuit settlements
Right.
behind us. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Knocking signs over here with the lawsuit settlements behind us, and knowing that last year was not a good year for the league as a whole.
Sure.
Just how important it is to get off to a good start on the football field, just to go in some ways towards changing the reputation of the league.
Doesn't feel like there's as much turbulence, certainly, as there's been in the past 3 years.
Right.
Since we were all in Charlotte and heard that Oklahoma and Texas were going to the SEC. Okay. That being said, I think the next 90 days are really big for the big college football picture.
Yeah.
In terms of if you're going to run pell-mell into 16 teams, what's it look like? I think we already kind of know, but we got to kind of get there. Are you going to do it with schedule equity, where that means everybody basically is playing the same formula, 8 or 9 games? That doesn't look likely.
No.
Okay, we're going to run without schedule equity. But here's the part you're bringing up. The ACC went 2-11 in bowl games.
Right.
Right. They did not get off to a great start. They were around the discussion of the CFP, and because of the way SMU played the last game and other things that happened, they got in the playoff, which is great. Far better than 1.
Yes.
So for me, I do agree with you. I think we have to be careful, and I kind of stumbled onto this a couple weeks ago, in that I know we create referendums on week 1 in college football. We really do. 60 minutes in Chapel Hill, 60 minutes in Raleigh, 60 minutes in Tallahassee, 60 minutes in Miami with the Canes and Notre Dame, 60 minutes for Virginia Tech and Atlanta against South Carolina, right? I look at that and I say, wait a second. On Sundays, when they open the NFL season the next week, and I know the Falcons host the Buccaneers. I don't know who the Panthers play. I'm sorry.
At Jacksonville.
When that game is over, and let's say the Panthers lose to the Jaguars, are we immediately going to create a referendum on Dave Canales' team. No, we're not.
Right. Nationally, we're better than that, but that's not the way college football works,
That,
unfortunately.
for some reason,
Right.
and what two sports are drawing closer together? Well, college is drawing closer to the NFL in certain fashions, but yet we want to compound it by a 60-minute referendum. I think that's the dangerous part because, yes, I think the ACC is going to have a much better year. And I think the way the ACC year is going to get better is by being successful in those first 3 weeks.
Yep.
And in week 1, I mean, I don't know if I like Virginia Tech in South Carolina. I don't know if Virginia Tech is my favorite there.
Mm-mm.
I know Tallahassee, Alabama's a 12-point favorite. But everywhere else, I'm kind of in.
Yeah. So
kind of in.
I wrote down must wins, right?
Oh, boy.
Right? Georgia,
go ahead on July 24th.
Right. Georgia Tech's got to win at Colorado.
Sure.
I think Georgia Tech could be good.
They could be very
right?
good, yes.
They got to win at Colorado. This is down ballot, but Cal might have to win at Oregon State. Right? You want to build.
Stanford might have to win at
right.
Hawaii.
You
Sure.
want to build equity. We call it current. What does a win in your league worth?
That's right.
Right?
I agree.
Or what damage does a loss in your league do?
I agree.
You mentioned Miami and Notre Dame. That's a huge game for the Hurricanes, right?
It's a huge game for both of them.
Exactly.
Just like Florida State, Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama should probably handle that, no?
You want to talk about white-hot lights, though.
Okay.
2-10 Florida State. Kalen DeBoer with, 4 losses last year at Alabama. You want to talk about white-hot lights.
Right. Okay.
Lose that first 60.
That would be a counter to something I'm going to ask you in a little bit. But I don't understand why the debate was Indiana versus Alabama for a spot in the playoff, why it wasn't Indiana versus Miami. Miami loses to a Georgia Tech team that should have beaten Georgia, absolutely should have beaten Georgia, and lost in 8 overtimes.
And did win. I mean, in terms of marketplace, they won. They didn't win on scoreboard, but they won in the marketplace.
Right. And then you lose to a 10-win Syracuse team where, I mean, you fell apart at the end of the game, but those are their only 2 losses.
Right.
Indiana beat nobody over the course of the season.
And lost to Ohio State.
And lost to – so what I didn't understand why they absolutely jumped to Indiana versus Alabama, and that's a PR machine. And to me, what it says is that nobody gives any value to ACC wins.
It is an interesting question and a statement, and I agree with some of it.
Okay.
I think the ACC has to be more aggressive in its messaging, especially as it relates to those of us that are contemporaries in this state, in this arena. I think you have to be more in line with what this is actually doing. You know, it's funny, these kickoffs all kind of have their own iterations, right?
Yeah.
Vegas, Atlanta this year for the SEC, Big 12 was in Dallas, I think, or something. So Rick Neuheisel and I do the SiriusXM thing with him every week, and he and Chris Childers, and basically Rick equated it to a political convention.
Sure.
The 4 political parties in college football basically have their convention this week. Just like in real life, real politics, you're allowed to attend the Democrat and the Republican convention if you're in the media, which is what we're doing.
Right.
To hear their rhetoric, hear their platform for the coming year, if you will, right? The analogy is really good when you think about it. It's time the ACC turned the volume up. I think that happens 2 different ways. 1, winning.
Yeah, that's what it is.
2, I think you need, and to a degree Dabo Swinney has obliged. Rhett Lashley obliged the other day from the podium, talking about what he thinks a playoff format ought to be. Put a challenge out there. Put it on tape. Put it out there for people to process it and then defend it. That's the challenge the ACC faces for sure.
Yeah, and it starts with winning these games. Clemson LSU is a must win for the Tigers.
It is a must win because Clemson, if they're going to start in the top 5, the mission for Dabo Swinney is, can we lock it in to stay in the top 5, the rest of the year? That's the key part to where the ACC and for Clemson in particular is standing today. Clemson's going to open in the top 5. Can they stay in the top 5 and run the race? I think they can, actually.
Wes Durham is joining us, the voice of the Atlantic Coast Conference, ACC Network ESPN, also the voice of flag football. All right. Okay, you brought up Alabama and the pressure that's on Kalen DeBoer and that program.
Sure.
How does that equate with the pressure that's on Clemson? When you come from winning national championships 2 out of 3 years, about, 6 or 7 years ago, and you're still good. You won the league last year.
Right.
But you're not that. You weren't truly a national championship contender. Clemson seems to have the personnel to get to that point. Cade Klubnik still here. Most people think he's the best quarterback returning in college football. I have no idea or not, but there is a ton of pressure on that program, on that player.
Sure.
To come
and he
through.
can't start out throwing a bounce pass on the opening snap like last year in Atlanta against Georgia. Fact.
Right.
Okay. Let me use Clemson and Alabama as the analogies. The biggest difference in Alabama right now from Clemson is exactly what we think it is. Nick Saban's not, thanks to Thomas Castellanos, we now know Nick Saban is not on the sideline. Right?
Right.
Okay. So Kalen DeBoer, who is a good football coach, and one I've got a tremendous amount of respect for, Kalen DeBoer is still finding his Tuscaloosa identity. Dabo Swinney isn't. Dabo Swinney and Clemson's platform. And for all the people that, got in their feelings about the transfer portal in Clemson and the slow movement to make changes that he has ultimately made with coaches and other things, Dabo Swinney, this is a foundational ball game for Dabo Swinney against LSU. Why do you win the game against LSU? Because you're Dabo Swinney and Clemson, and you've built this machine. And this machine at home on a Saturday night can do X to Brian Kelly and Garrett Nussmeier and whatever iteration of LSU we get this year, okay? Even though no relation, Caden Durham is the running back at LSU. Feel obligated to point that out.
That's fine. That is fine.
Kalen DeBoer is going to Tallahassee for Alabama's first ever meeting at Florida State. In Tallahassee. They've never played in Tallahassee.
That is amazing since Tallahassee is basically Alabama.
No question. So the idea of this happening, you think about what Mike Norvell and Kalen DeBoer are both battling in that light, and it's easy to see why I think Dabo Swinney and Clemson has that program. Mike Norvell, despite success, is still building Florida State.
Yeah.
And last year got smoked out by the culture in some respect and the portal. Kalen DeBoer is still just trying to make sure he can stand in the deep end of the pool in Tuscaloosa. But nobody wants to hear that because they automatically think you plug and play in college football today. And it's not that easy.
Right.
That's why I still think this is the hardest job in all of sports, is being a head football coach at a power school.
Yeah, we assume, as Roddy Jones is sitting down.
What a magical moment this is going to be for Marconi in the industry.
Georgia Tech legend. ESPN, ACC.
Just like it used to be. Wes on the headset over there, me on the headset
You guys
over
have
here.
Great chemistry.
We have a segment with you at the Westin Hotel that lives on YouTube in my timeline. It does. Shows up like once a month of us sitting there, you in a T-shirt, me talking dribble, and AG asking probing questions.
Probing questions.
Yeah.
Probing questions. So I don't even, where
we're talking about. We're talking about Clemson and
right.
the platform against LSU, and can they stay there despite Klubnik or with Klubnik? And the answer to me has always been yes. I think Cade Klubnik has matured to a point where we can trust him with Saturday night against LSU at home. Okay? Is he going to come out on play fake, boot to the other way, and throw a bounce pass on the first play like he did last year against Georgia? I hope not, because I trust that he's kind of still ascending as a quarterback. It just took longer than Trevor Lawrence and longer than Deshaun Watson to get to where we think now Cade Klubnik can be. Because here's the trick. They're not quite to the Skalski, Boulware, Christian Wilkins level, but they're in the neighborhood.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, it took longer for Cade Klubnik from a quarterback development standpoint, but that roster was a far cry
Correct.
from what the rosters that Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence inherited. And the reason I trust Clemson is we had a chance to catch up with Cade for a long-form podcast thing that we did
Airing next month on ACC Network.
Looking forward to that.
The thing that he talked about was in this era of college sports, where we talk about transfer portal, we talk about NIL, the Clemson players have all been through shared adversity.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They have been 4-4 in Clemson, South Carolina, and felt how that felt. Now, the fact that they're going and playing LSU on Monday night, no matter how the first series goes, the first play goes, the first quarter goes, like when you've been through stuff like that, there is a belief in each other and a trust in each other. And they as he put it, they've done life together.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that. Like LSU doesn't have that. You got a couple guys that have been at LSU for
Sure.
a while, but when Garrett Nussmeier looks to his left and looks to his right, there's not the trust. There's not the shared experiences of ups and downs that Cade Klubnik in that offense.
And to tie back to right before Roddy joined us,
yeah,
you know who was affected by not having shared adversity a year ago more than any other team in the country?
FLORIDA STATE, because that 13-0 team had it. That 13-0 team was 5-7. The core of it.
Yeah.
Those, even though they were transfers and they supplemented some, like the core of that group had felt what it was like to have to grind to 10-3 and 5-7.
Them cats that played in Dublin last year, they ain't been there.
No, and that team did kind of. I mean, I think it was pretty obvious. The team kind of gave
they punted
up
on it.
They
punted
gave up on
the
it.
season. Yeah,
it was unfortunately
Tell you this:
obvious.
if Patrick Payton doesn't make a shoe top tackle of Jaden Ott, they do not win an ACC.
Just Fernando Mendoza.
An ACC game last year.
Wes Durham, Roddy Jones joining us here. ACC football kickoff.
Roddy's the reason the league makes money too, by the way.
Yes. Well, no, I mean, you guys probably, 60-40? 70-30?
65-35. I'm getting old.
You mentioned, Roddy, sort of indirectly, the players around Cade Klubnik. To me, the biggest difference between what happened Deshaun Watson into Trevor Lawrence, and really it started happening at the end of Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
The drop-off in dynamic talent at wide receiver, offensive lines were not as good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Clemson has rebuilt. The defenses have all been great. It looks like they've rebuilt their wide receiver core, and it looks like their offensive line might be, maybe the best, one of the best, if top 2 or 3 in the ACC.
Yeah.
Are they good enough at those two positions to be national players?
Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. They've grown and developed the offensive line better than they ever have during Dabo's tenure. They will have more guys drafted off of this offensive line. I mean, remember the moniker for a while was Dabo doesn't get offensive linemen drafted. And if you look at his history, he hasn't had very many. He will have a number drafted off of this crew. A lot of that credit goes to Matt Luke, the offensive line coach.
Yep.
But the receiving core, yes, it started to tail off at the end of the Trevor Lawrence era, but I think COVID really hurt Clemson from a recruiting standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
They are a program that doesn't offer a lot of guys. They like to get to know guys, like to get their hands on them, like to get to know the families, get to know their background, and recruit really good players that fit Clemson. I think the inability to get their hands in as many guys affected them. And I think wide receiver is probably the biggest example of that, where they had some whiffs. They had a lot of unfortunate injuries. A lot of people wanted Frank Latson and Joe Ngata. Those guys couldn't stay healthy. And Bo Collins has ended up being a very good player. It just didn't blossom necessarily at Clemson. So I think there were a number of things going on with Clemson's program at a time where college football changed and all of it kind of came to a head at the same time. And instead of Dabo taking a machete to the entire program and axing things, he has taken a scalpel and he's fixed one thing at a time. And now they're at a point where he's got the offensive coordinator right in Garrett Riley and the offensive line coach in that system. He's got the defensive coordinator right in Tom Allen, who was phenomenal last year.
Oh, boy.
Building on what Manny Diaz had at Penn State. He's got the quarterback, and it seems like that pipeline is going to continue. He's got the receivers right. That defensive line is one of the best in the country. He's got 2 potential first-rounders there. The linebackers are dynamic, and Sammy Brown is a guy that we are not talking enough about in this building and what he can bring.
They're loaded.
They are loaded. And then he's got 2 NFL corners. Ashton Hampton's not eligible, but Avion Terrell is, and that dude's going to play in the NFL. So you just look across the field and you see, all right, NFL talent everywhere, offensive and defensive coordinators that are going to have a system and a plan to let those guys go execute, and then a culture that has been there that he can now build off of again. He has been closer than people have given him credit for, even through this process, because they've wanted the machete, and he's been slowly scalpeling this program to get it to where it's very healthy again.
We have Roddy Jones. We have Wes Durham here from ESPN and the ACC Network. A couple of more things, then we'll let both of you go do better things with the rest of your day.
Nothing better.
Stop.
The compensation here, though, is excellent.
It
I
is.
will say that.
It is.
Yeah.
Unlimited ice water.
That's it.
Right there.
Yeah, in plastic cups.
And I need a bigger cup, though.
We do need bigger cups.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't keep.
Take it easy, Adam.
All
This
right.
is our second run at the Hilton.
I have no comment.
I was also going to offer that you've missed several Mary Kay luminaries that have walked behind you here.
I tell you what, the outfits of the Mary Kay, impressive.
You need to walk through the parking deck.
Oh, I don't want to.
The pink Cadillac is on parade today.
Oh, are they pink? Are the Cadillacs pink?
Oh, yeah, they're very pink.
Is Springsteen back there? Never mind.
No.
All right. The
Better rap quick, AG.
The University of North Carolina.
At Chapel Hill?
At Chapel Hill.
Okay, good.
Which I know,
Chapel Hill.
based on a recent tweet, is going to be the site of maybe the largest pregame show that ESPN has ever put on. Almost every employee at the network is going to be there in advance of North Carolina and TCU. And
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, see?
And a couple of them that don't cover college football.
Exactly. And
a couple of them that only laugh through college football.
Sure.
And I have been saying this since Bill was hired. This year, there will be more attention on UNC football than there has ever been on any program, and it doesn't matter if they win or lose. It is going to be using the train wreck, the car wreck at the side of the road. Everybody is going to have eyeballs on what UNC does.
Why don't we allow the gentleman who's subleased in Boulder, Colorado the last year or so to talk about that?
Right.
I think in terms of organic interest, yes. What Colorado built because of self-promotion, I think will rival it. Because remember, Colorado was 3-9 that year, and they had game day there with the Rock sitting up in Boulder. So they were able to sort of manufacture that. But in terms of organic interest, everybody's going to be watching. You're exactly right. And look, I think it makes it a critical year for not only North Carolina but for the ACC. This is the most eyeballs that the ACC is going to have that I can remember. Again, organically, outside of in terms of storylines and interest, and no matter how it goes, people are going to watch. You know, North Carolina can lose to TCU week 1, and people aren't going to write off the Bill Belichick story.
No.
How does Bill Belichick?
It might enhance
back?
it.
It might, because now they got to beat Charlotte.
That's right.
And now they got to go into ACC play. Now that when they go to UCF, Scott Frost and Bill, it is going to be a traveling road show. That he's going to have. So yes, it's critically important. But that brings eyeballs to North Carolina, Clemson.
The
Brings
Q rating,
eyeballs to the entire ACC.
The Q rating on Carolina football since December is huge, right? Now
Not as high as I think it should be, because I think some of the distractions have taken away from talking about the University of North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. It's still there.
And the reality rating of football is getting ready to take shape. Carolina determines how long they are a story this year.
Well, I think there'll be a story either way all year. I think what they do this year determines next year.
This is, and it's interesting. I was asked by somebody a couple days ago, is this Bill Walsh returning to Stanford after Super Bowls? No, it's not. Bill Walsh was at Stanford, went and won Super Bowls, and then came back. This is a guy whose dad was an assistant coach for 3 years under George Barclay, in the 1950s, who wants to coach. Some can say write his final chapter, whatever you want to call it, coming to Carolina after a year away now to do something he's never done. I think it's going to be really interesting. I give Gio Lopez and Jordan Shipp a lot of credit. They have been terrific here today. They have been terrific. Whether Bill Belichick, is good an oppressor today or not is irrelevant to this story, because it's going to continue to grind. Carolina, the benefit Carolina has with Bill Belichick is, and Roddy and I have talked about this since the spring, they have a workable schedule, AG.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's
workable is a good way of putting it.
There is a bowl in that schedule for sure.
Yeah.
They get to determine what kind of bowl, barring massive injury, things like that. I think they are going to be monitored, yes, featured a lot early, but they determine how long they are in the national perspective.
Is there a reason other than Bill Belichick that North Carolina, TCU is being played
Not
on Labor
one.
Day.
No, not
I mean,
one.
that's the reason.
Not one. It is.
It's not the national runner-up that TCU had a couple of years ago. Certainly, like that hasn't carried them anywhere.
That lost to Colorado.
Right.
By the way.
Yes. So the spectacle that's going to be Monday night on Labor Day with everybody who works at ESPN there,
Except us, apparently. We
good,
technically are. I agree.
I wouldn't want to be there, to be honest with you. We got.
I think they were kind.
We're going to go do the football. How about us? We get to be the football tour on August 13th. We'll go do the football tour at Chapel Hill.
That is true.
Okay.
Roddy, EJ Manuel, and I will be there to preview the Tar Heels for ACC
Awesome.
Network.
And look, there will be a lot of, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
A lot of that. Yep.
We'll see. But I think that this is a roster that if it is good enough, and we don't know if it is, but if it is good enough to compete from a talent standpoint, player for player, in the middle of the ACC, then I think coaching then can make a difference. Yeah. They're not going to challenge Clemson for the championship, but could they be top 5, 6 in the league? I think the disparity of talent in the league is close enough amongst the mid-tier where they could absolutely be the fourth best team in the league. And look, that may mean the second best record in the league because of the schedule.
Well, we're going to come out of here, Clemson, Miami, and then we're going to go 3 through about 7 or 8 in the preseason poll with a group of teams. Okay. Carolina has to determine if they're going to be in that group of teams. I think they may be on the fringe of it.
I think you just don't know.
But it's a big old crapshoot at this point, too.
All right, let me ask one more question before we let both Wes and Roddy go. This has been an absolute treat. There are football brands in this league.
Yes.
Clemson is a football brand.
Sure.
Florida State, Miami. Virginia Tech is a football brand.
Needs to be a football brand.
So to me, the overall perception of the league will be determined by how your football brands do. And then your old school, Roddy, Georgia Tech can be part of this mix. Louisville, part of this mix. So I just want to get your thoughts on what the brand schools have to do to help the ACC repair their reputation.
Clemson and Miami have to be nationally relevant the entire season. And I think they will be. They'll be good enough to be in the college football playoff conversation. And they need to. The ACC probably needs 2 more, maybe 3 more in that conversation. That doesn't mean in the top 12, but it means flirting with the top 20.
Yeah.
So who that is, we'll see. I think the best position to do it, SMU again.
Yep.
Louisville and Georgia Tech would be the best position.
SMU's got a wide receiver named Jordan Hudson. I just want to point that out.
He's good, too.
And he's very good.
He's good. He's not R.J. Maryland, but he's
the
good.
second best Jordan Hudson in the league.
No, he's the best Jordan Hudson in the league.
Okay, it's debatable.
Depends
on who you ask.
Debatable.
It depends on who you ask.
I know. Don't say that to some. The thing is, though, the Virginia Tech thing is interesting because I think you can squint and convince yourself that that's a team that could be nationally – or not nationally relevant, but ACC relevant again. The thing is with Virginia Tech, we are flirting with the amount of time of irrelevance where you start to lose steam being a football brand. And they're not a Nebraska where they will always be a football brand. You need some sort of relevance to continue that. And there's plenty of teams. Michigan State's kind of getting there, where it's like, you remember when Michigan State made the playoff? God, dog, they sure did. What was that, 12 years ago?
That was a long time ago.
Kirko.
Yes, like the guy who was the quarterback of that team is now
Kirko.
He's getting to the point where he's about to be out of. So
getting guaranteed $45 million.
Yeah. Well,
do whatever you want to me.
So I think yes, for Virginia Tech, it's a massive year. Obviously for Brent Pry and what they're trying to do.
Right.
But there's pieces there, and they're not far. Dusty pointed this out to me, and it's good to have this perspective. If on the field they won the Miami game, upon review they didn't win the Miami game.
Right.
Change that review, and that's a 7th win. It went to overtime with Vanderbilt. Once you get to overtime with the team, it's a coin flip game. That coin flip goes your way. You're an 8-win team, so they're not that far away. They got to be better in the run. They got to be more consistent offensively. Kyron Jones has to stay healthy, and I think they should be able to do some of those things. But it's crucially important, especially in a year where you're going to have eyes on you because of Bill Belichick, that the football brands perform. Florida State's got to get back. You got to be, 8 wins. For
you can't be 2-10.
That's it.
And you can't quit.
And you can't quit.
Right. And you can't quit. Wes Durham, Roddy Jones, honored. Thank you both for stopping by.
This is a blast.
Thanks, AG.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time. Well, I have your phone numbers.
Yeah.
So
use them.
Don't block me.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Take care,
Wes
man.
Durham, Roddy Jones, ACC Kickoff.
See you, people.
One-timers. Next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Your child's doctor shares your goals. A healthy future for your child. Doctors recommend vaccines throughout childhood because they protect what matters most. Your child's future from preventable disease and serious illness. Discuss any questions you have and check that your child is up to date and talk about any concerns. You're right to have questions. Get real answers. Start a conversation with your doctor today. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
Make this your best summer yet by having fun while staying active and engaged. AARP can help. Find AARP events near you by visiting aarp.org/local. That's aarp.org/local to find both in-person and virtual events. You can also learn more about living your best life by listening to AARP Without Limits wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Ask any college student. If it wasn't for the last minute, lots of assignments wouldn't get done. So if you haven't figured out your plan for college and how to pay for it yet, don't worry, you've still got time. And with the next NC scholarship, you can still get money to pay for most or all of your tuition. To apply, just fill out your FAFSA and you could get $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for public university, and possibly more. See how easy it is to apply at nextncscholarship.org.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. Each year, 3.6 million people in the U.S. delay or skip medical care altogether simply because they can't get to a healthcare provider. From long distances to unreliable public transit to the cost of a tank of gas, it all adds up. LaPonda Edmondson, president of the North Carolina Healthcare Foundation, joins me to talk about how their social impact program is making a difference in Robeson County.
We're investing $900,000 over the course of 3 years in Robeson County. Our aim there is to be able to support these projects that address transportation as a social driver of health.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and learn more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
Healthcare? Why?
Why is it so hard?
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Really?
Really. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting all your benefits, prescriptions, and details on your computer and phone. Convinced?
No, but it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross, North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Did you know Atlantic hurricane season runs through November? From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
Every parent wants their child to grow up healthy and strong, especially if they have a special medical need. And when my son Maddox was born with a rare neurological disorder, private insurance wouldn't cover his care. But Medicaid stepped in, and now Maddox can go to school and have a future of his own. My name is Ashley, and I'm speaking up to protect NC Medicaid.
Learn more at ncchild.org/speakup. That's ncchild.org/speakup.
If you can plan barbecues, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts and make a family plan. Ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Adam Gold.
And I did have to use two screens at one point, or a couple of points, and I don't like it. I can't watch two games at the same time.
There's a lot going on.
I'm sorry. I'm incapable of doing that. Because there were times where, I forgot this other game was on in front of me.
Yeah.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. We are live at ACC Football Kickoff at the Hilton in Uptown Charlotte. I know what day 2 of Panthers training camp is going on in Spartanburg. I'm sure it's toasty. But you know what? It's July. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be. Thanks to Wes Durham and Roddy Jones for sitting down and chopping up ACC football. But we have things to do, including one-timers, and we'll do that right now. All right, let's get right to it. Questions and answers.
Okay, our YouTube stream's coming through.
Are they?
First up from William. William's got a couple. Let's see here. Thoughts on... Oh, let me do the first one. Thoughts on Hulk Hogan passing.
Brother! I mean, later in life, Hogan became sort of almost a caricature of Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
But what he meant to the pro wrestling industry, the honest truth is that we should probably ask Chris Lee from WRAL TV5.
Big time.
Because actually, is he around? Well, we should, I mean, like, not even joking, it would be interesting to get his perspective as a former professional wrestler and somebody who is still involved in the business.
Yeah.
I think Hogan, again, later in life, set it aside. In his, we're just going to call it prime, he was one of the most recognizable figures in that sports entertainment industry. So for a lot of people, it's a huge, huge loss.
Adam Victoria, if I could just say one thing as a pro wrestling fan, I just wanted to make it known that Hulk Hogan and the Iron Sheik are having one of the greatest wrestling matches right now on the other side. I'll just leave it at that.
Man, the Hulk Hogan won't ever be, unfortunately, as prolific on social media. The Iron Sheik on Twitter still gets it done.
Yeah, it does.
So, jabroni. We'll just leave it at that. So, all right, next question.
Okay, next up, this one. It says for me, thoughts on Ozzy passing. Sorry for the passing questions.
Is this William? Is this all William worried about death? Does he have a question about Malcolm Jamal Warner, too?
I know. Well, it's very sad. Ozzy's passing was very sad. However, I don't know if you know this, but he did actually stop taking his medication, too, towards the end. This is stuff that I've read because he didn't want to keep taking it and pass. And also, he did it so he could do the concert that he'd end up, passing away from 17 days later. So, yes, he actually did that, which I think is really cool, but it's really sad. I mean, he's a huge person in the metal world. So Prince of Darkness, he made his mark.
He's, the word I used the word iconic before. And while I was not an Ozzy Osbourne or a Black Sabbath fan, you certainly recognize his place in that genre. So.
Some people are having a debate on who had the biggest kind of mark in the music industry, whether it was the Beatles or Black Sabbath, which I know what you would. I know where you would go with that one.
I mean, it didn't matter whether you like the music or not.
Right.
There's not really a debate there, but okay.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah.
I mean, this is not really in the realm of ketchup or mustard on a hot dog. It's not about personal taste. Sorry.
Not.
All right, next.
It's not, but yeah.
There we go.
Okay, next up. Sorry, another one for me. So, this is from YAG. So, it says, who would you like to see as the main headliner fight for the UFC event at the White House next year?
Stunned that question was not for me.
Now, honestly, I think it would be really fun to have Max Holloway there. He puts on a really good fight. So, Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje put on such a good fight. I'd love to see Dustin Poirier, but I think Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway is a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Probably Sean Strickland would be the one to do it, though.
All right, I'll just agree. How about that? I'll just agree to that.
And we do have another one from the same person, but this one's for you.
That's fine. It will not be about UFC.
No. Which teams will make the ACC title game, in your opinions?
Well, it better be Clemson. Really better be Clemson. And I think the best thing for the Atlantic Coast Conference would be if their two best teams, Clemson, Miami. SMU has a favorable schedule and honestly should be in the mix. I don't foresee – I know North Carolina's got a great schedule, but I don't believe they have a great team. So I don't think they'll be in the mix. But it's got to be Florida State and Miami – I'm sorry, Clemson and Miami for the purpose of the ACC and how good they are. Those have to be the two teams that lead everything. So that's my hope. SMU will be in the mix because SMU is legitimately good. Again. All right? We
have one more.
All right, let's do it. We do. We've got like a minute.
So we haven't really seen this person down here in Radio Row, but why do you think Belichick is dodging all of us here?
Well, he's not. Look, I want to make this clear. Whether or not we think that Bill Belichick is the same as Dabo Swinney or any of the other coaches in the league, that's not true. I'm sorry. I know that there are people walking around here like clucking about, well, Bill should be here. I'm like, yeah, well, Bill was never going to be here. And we're all just going to have to get over the fact that Bill isn't going to, in his mind, stoop to coming here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Roy Williams would have and had done it. Mike Krzyzewski would have and has done it. Right? Dabo Swinney digs this.
Loves it.
Mac Brown dug it. You know, they are different people. Bill, it's never going to. Do you want those press conferences here? I don't.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. We're in the offseason, but it doesn't mean me and my co-host, WREL TV's Chris Lee, take a break from our podcast, Panthers Playbook. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Panthers news as training camp approaches, insights on the rookies, the free agents, and the surprises, plus all the insider info on the upcoming season. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcast or watch on YouTube.
New to the area? Let me be the first to welcome you. I'm Marcy Bailey of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. We've been family-owned and part of North Carolina since 1948. We have a tradition of being voted the best jewelry store with an unparalleled selection of designer jewelry, fine diamonds, engagement rings, watches, and gifts to commemorate all your special occasions. We look forward to sharing our award-winning service and stunning jewels with you. Visit us today in-store or at baileybox.com to see why every woman wants a Bailey box.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teens require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated the kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick.
That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious.
Mountain Dew!
Do the do.
Hurry into Family Fare and get 2 20-ounce bottles of ice-cold Mountain Dew for just $4.29. Family Fare, first in thirst.
Charlie did not die from an overdose. Charlie was poisoned.
No other family should go through this. It's just horrific.
Go to safe.pharmacy. Use the free tool. Learn if the online pharmacy you're using is safe.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes. Teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It's his show. We're all part of the show. He loves putting on the show. He's one of the great marketers of all time. Like, he is the modern day P.T. Barnum, the NFL version of that. And he loves that. Now, I'm sure he loves cap space, but that's probably secondary to making sure the Cowboys are America's team, selling that franchise, being relevant, being topical, being in the headlines. I think he loves all that.
You're listening to The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
First of all, incredible musical choice by Rusty Helser. Incredible musical choice. This is why Rusty should win awards. It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. We have a cast, not quite the ESPN college football cast. We'll explain to you in a second that will be on hand in Chapel Hill in a minute. But we have a cast here at ACC Football Media Day. I'm here. Victoria's here. Dave Modelin is on site producing. We're getting assistance from our friend Dennis Cox. Graham Hill, for the final time, Graham and I will work together today because I am not here tomorrow.
That's why I've been relegated to the studio.
And and Graham was chained to the board back in Studio C, I believe it is. So I just want to say this real quick, because I'll probably forget before the end of the show. Graham, fantastic work, tremendous growth. I miss you already, and that's it. That's the sentimentality is now over.
Well, I appreciate that, considering that we have 2 hours still left to go, and a lot could go wrong in that time span for you to change your opinion. But until then, I appreciate the kind words, Adam. You've been a great role model and mentor to me. Shout out to Victoria, who first trained me on the sports shop, along with Dennis Cox. So a little bit of a full circle moment, and then even more of a full circle moment when Paul Ihander and I slide into the host chair tomorrow for your program.
Very cool. Very cool. So we have I didn't even mention Ashley on social media here. But here's the deal. ESPN, for the Monday night North Carolina TCU game. Think about what they normally have in a college game day. So here's the lineup. Matt Barry will host. And by the way, this starts at 7 o'clock, 1 hour before the 8 o'clock kickoff. Matt Barry will host, along with analyst Teddy Bruschi, who's keeping track. 2. Desmond Howard, Pat McAfee, and Nick Saban. That's 5. College football insider Pete Thamel will be there. That's 6. That's pretty good. By the way, Teddy Bruschi, who I'm not sure has watched a college football game since he was at the University of Arizona 400 years ago, he'll be there because we need to cover the Bill Belichick angle. Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe will be on the call for Monday night, North Carolina TCU. That is a pretty stacked group.
It is.
For, honestly, 2 teams that might not be very good. But it just illustrates my point about how much attention is going to be paid to UNC football this year. And I am here for it. And I am not one that is looking for a train wreck. Just remember, I have been on the side of, hey, man, this could work. Mm-hmm. And if it works, it will be awesome. I understand all the people who don't think it will. And I've said before, chances are you're going to be right. But, man, it could be a blast to be like at ground zero for what could be a great era of UNC football. So I'm here for all of that. Year one of Bill Belichick, but Dave Doeren has been around the block in Raleigh and at NC State, and he sat down with me about an hour and a half ago. The man himself, Dave Doeren, head coach, NC State here at ACC Football Kickoff. Before we get into serious football things, I spoke to Caden Fordham. He said you guys did a lot of things or are doing a lot of things, team building and whatnot. You took the guys fishing, and then you showed them up by catching the biggest fish.
Yeah. Well, look, there's certain things that you're good at, certain things you're not. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest fisherman. I'm not. But I'm pretty good at it.
Yep. I said that to him.
I've been in that pond a few times, so I knew where they were at. I knew what they would eat. And they all had on their fancy lures and this and that. And they're, I said, you guys go ahead. And then pretty soon they're like, what are you using? What are you using? So, that we got a lot of guys that like to fish, and then we have some guys that hadn't. And,
right.
And so I've been doing a lot with our leadership team this offseason to build it the right way. I feel like that's an area that we fell short last year, and that's on me to get those guys better in that department. And sometimes you need to get out of the building with them and go do something that's more lifelike, and let them just cut it loose and have fun, And we have a donor that has a really nice farm with some ponds on it, and we're able to go out there and have some fun together.
That's very cool. I'm interested in just kind of exploring something you just said, because if I was going to describe one of the hallmarks of your program over the years, it would be leadership, camaraderie, family. So you say last year that kind of got away from you a little bit, maybe not the family part of it, but the leadership part. How does that happen? Is it almost impossible to recognize it in real time?
You know what happened last year? We had two key injuries to two of our best vocal leaders, Caden Fordham and Grayson McCall. And when that happens, in some years, Isaiah Moore, as an example, got injured. Drake Thomas stepped right into that role, and the team just kept rolling.
Right.
And so I had leadership, but I also had leadership behind the leadership. And I felt like last year's team, when we lost those two key players, nobody emerged that was a playmaker with a voice that was willing to take the reins of leading the locker room. And so this offseason, I spent a lot of time with some guys that, I've identified as key components to leading our football team at different position groups, and getting them the skill set that they need to have, so that if they are the alpha like Caden, that they can succeed in that role. And if needed and Caden's not available, someone else can do that for him. I've had a lineage of really good leaders, and I appreciate you saying that, because to me that's one of my key parts of what I do. But, you learn from success and failure, and I felt like I didn't do a good enough job getting the next in line ready to do that last year. And we had some guys that were ready that just didn't seize it too.
Okay.
And so, I have to identify, and those were great examples with this group. Like, hey, you remember so-and-so, he could have done that and didn't. And what did that do to the team? And so let's talk about that and make sure we don't have to relive it.
I want to talk about life after Tony Gibson. Now, last year was an uncharacteristically down year on that side of the ball. What has to be replaced with Tony moving on to Marshall?
Well, first of all, I'm thankful and excited for Tony, and he did a great job at NC State. And he's wanted to be a head coach a long time. He's been a runner-up in a bunch of head coaching searches, and so I'm glad that Marshall gave him the opportunity, and look forward to watching him do what he does. With that being said, for us to get better, our pass rush has to improve. Last year, Davin Vann was really the only consistent pass rusher we had, and so recruiting and development was a lot around that. DJ Elliott did a really good job helping us recruit some players when he got in the door. DJ's been a experienced coordinator, has been in multiple leagues and the NFL, and has a track record of TFLs and sacks. And to me, that's
right.
What I need us to be better at. It's that we need to create more negative plays, and when you do that, you have more stops on defense. You get the ball back in a better field position.
I'm going to get to some. Oh, you weren't finished. Were you just paused? A dramatic pause.
You're good.
You were done. I want to get to a bigger picture thing in a second, but let me ask you about C.J. Bailey, because there were times last year where he looked, oh my, this guy's going to be a star, and then there were times because it's natural when you're that young, and it's new, where he took a step back. Where is he in his development?
CJ's come a long way in a year, physically going from 170 to over 200 pounds. Experience now, failures.
I mean, I can do that. How does he do that?
Yeah, and it's muscle. Experience, you can't just put games into a guy. He's got to be on the field. So he's got good moments and bad moments, and both are very valuable. Biggest thing that you're going to see is a guy that's a returning starter that has camaraderie with his guys. Last year he was in survival mode.
Okay.
He's trying to learn the offense, trying to understand college, understand who his teammates are, and it's more about what do I have to do. Now he knows what he has to do. He understands who's with him doing it, and he's earned the respect of his teammates to lead him the right way.
All right, now to a big picture thing. And you as a coach, you're about earning everything.
Mm-hmm.
The conversations you hear about whatever the college football playoff format's going to be. When you hear, well, this conference wants 4 automatic bids or what? How do you care what it looks like? And I'm just curious what your opinion is of what it should look like.
I'm against automatic bids. Personally, I think the top 16 or 12 or whatever the number 20 should be in. And
regardless of conference champion or not?
I don't think conference championship should be played. I don't.
Really?
I mean, if you're going to let Notre Dame in without one, then why are we doing it?
By the way, I like that.
I think equality matters. Equal opportunity to get in. I think more opportunities to get in is a good thing. And I think the teams that earn it with their strength of schedule, their record, and quality wins should be ranked higher than other teams. And, why would you want to have a number on how many teams can get in? Because what if you had 7 ranked in the top 20 and you're only getting 4?
Right.
And if we're this league that only gets 3 and we got 6, or we're this league that gets 3 and we have 1, it should be earned through your record, through your competitive play. And, the conference championship's a moneymaker, and I'm all about increasing revenue in our league. I know that's important. But we're talking about getting the best teams in the playoffs. And so I'm one of the coaches that has been a part of FCS football.
Right.
And being at Montana for 2 years, being in the playoffs both years, going to the national championship 2 years in a row, you couldn't wait. I mean, as you got down to the end, you were looking at the rankings because you knew it wasn't a conference championship game. You knew that the top-ranked teams were going to get in, and you knew who was going to get seeded the certain way. And it was fair, and it was earned. And, the committee part of this thing, I don't like the criteria that some of the things that are in the committee's wheelhouse, looking at who's available and things like that. To me, it ought to be some kind of algorithm rubric that it's your strength of schedule, it's your wins, it's your quality wins, like they do in some other sports, and lean into the math of it and let the math be the reason versus human bias or human mistake that can happen. I mean, that's just human nature. None of us are going to always get things right, and so that's where you can lean into these things that have all the right characteristics to it. And that's my take on it. I'm against this league gets this league gets this, because over time the leagues have changed in strength, and the evolution will continue, All
right, one more thing. That to me, that's you and I are very much on the same page about that. I've never understood why. If it were basketball, well, the ACC could just say we should get 11 teams in, because historically we've been the best basketball conference. How has Justin Joly's going to sit down in a second, so we have to.
He looks good, doesn't he?
That is sharp. We're going to talk about his fit. How has everything changed with NIL becoming so much more prevalent?
How you do it, getting a staff in the building that understands how to help you do it right. trying to understand what guys' value really is, because there's so many numbers that are being thrown out there publicly that you don't know if they're real or not.
Right.
Because there isn't anything written. It's all word of mouth. The hardest part, and I'm all for the NIL thing for the athletes. It's awesome that they're getting money. The hardest thing is the poaching that's taking place illegally. When you have a kid that starts on your team, that's happy on your team, that's paid well on your team, and he's only leaving because some agent called his mom and said we can get him triple to go somewhere else.
Right.
But he is under contract at your school. I just don't understand how that, in any other business, that's illegal.
Right.
It's collusion. It's piracy, however you want to look at it. You don't see IBM doing that to Apple, right? So I just think there needs to be some common sense things that take place that help all of this for all the coaches and really for the players. Because, look, you got players coming in my office saying, Coach, we don't want this guy to leave.
Right.
And he doesn't want to leave. You know what I mean? And so then he shouldn't be leaving. He shouldn't be. And I think when you look at the draft, you're seeing fewer and fewer transfers getting drafted because their development is getting halted in some cases. There was no offensive linemen drafted that have transferred more than twice.
Really?
None.
There'll be a study about that
there already is, yeah.
over time. You mentioned piracy. Good luck against the Pirates. I'll talk to you before
Appreciate
then.
that.
Thank you so much.
All right.
What we didn't have there was the Go Pack that always ends every Dave Doeren interview. Fascinating about the no automatic bids, which goes even beyond where I'd go. I would give automatic bids to conference champions because we're going to have conference championship games. It has got to be some prize other than a trophy. It's got to be something tangible for winning a conference championship game. But I believe Dave said, I get rid of those too, which that's old school college football, but Dave is kind of an old school guy. I appreciate his time. Justin Joly later in the program, and yes, his fit was tight. When we come back, North Carolina wide receiver Jordan Shipp on the difference between Mac Brown and playing for Bill Belichick, if he's allowed to say it. Next from ACC Football Kickoff in Charlotte.
Talking sports so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Panthers training camp is almost here, and it's finally time, Panthers fans. Go all out to win. The years prior to this, it's about draft picks. It's about playing the younger guys, making sure they get their experience, maybe even above winning games. But this year, all of that changes. Dave Canales, Bryce Young, it's time to win.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at X Golf in Cary, and I have your weekend plans because I've seen the weather report for Saturday and Sunday, and it's brutal. So let's play golf indoors in the Golden Pint Scramble, 2 days, scramble-style event. And remember, if you need to know what that is, playxgolf.com/Cary. The 26th, 27th of July, 1 to 4, trophy brewing on site, all sorts of things you can taste, and prizes to be won if you're good enough. Playxgolf.com/Cary.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Lenovo Center this weekend. Brought to you by BKT Tires, the original super glue in Texas Roadhouse. Lock in your seats today.
Is going to your local bar the worst part of your day? The bartender ignores you, mediocre food, warm beer? Then why go there? Take 5 minutes and drop in at Sharky's, where they'll give you a free evaluation, and you can learn about all the bars that you shouldn't go to. Sharky's has helped thousands find the right bar to hang at. What are you waiting for? Sharky's evaluation could be the cure to the worst part of your day. Change your bar, change your life. Sharky's, 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
Hey, it's Tim here for All-Star Dog Training. We all know Ripken, the legend, right? The best trained dog in the triangle. You see him at Bulls games, you see him at state games grabbing the tee. What you may not know is Michael from All-Star Dog Training, the man behind the dog, has won awards like the Voters' Choice Award for Best Pet Training Service 8 years in a row, PBS Emmy Award, hundreds of 5-star reviews. Michael, what else have you done to garner this attention?
We try to help every dog in the triangle. That's our goal, and I know Ripken will want every dog to be an all-star just like him. So that's why we came out with All-Star Dog Training. All-Star Dog Training, it's a rebrand in honor of Ripken. What services do you offer? At our 5,000 square foot facility in Apex, we offer private lessons, day train programs, puppy classes, and even board and trains. But always remember, we'll come to you too. And it's the same training that not only helped Ripken be such a well-trained legend, but also his full-blooded brother, Champ, who's taken over? Champ will be there this season for the Doeren Bulls. Same All-Star team, new All-Star name. Check them out at allstardogtraining.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Adam Gold.
I told Tim, who does the afternoon show, I said, I'm about to turn this game around. We need Cheez-Its. So I went to go get magical Lucky Cheez-Its, and guess what? Boom. Period 2, tied it up. And then at the end of the game, I still had like 8 Cheez-Its in the cup left, and I said, Lucky Cheez-Its.
There you go. The Adam Gold Show.
There you go. Graham Hill on the ones and twos today. I'm Adam Gold. This is the Adam Gold Show at ACC Football Kickoff in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Hilton in Uptown, site of the ACC Championship game, which Dave Doeren is apparently okay with jettisoning. Look, in a bigger picture, when we get to whatever's next in college football, and I contend it's not going to look anything like what we have today. When we get to the next iteration of whatever it's going to look like, it's quite possible that we won't have conference championship games. It's quite possible that college football will look like just a much larger version, albeit not at the higher level, of NFL football, in that college football might be a 60-team free-for-all, in which case, and maybe even bigger, maybe a little bit less, where all these schools play against each other in a more even format with schedule formulas. We don't have really conference affiliation with college football, and that might be further damaging the sport and the culture of it. But they don't care as long as the checks cash. And we have to understand that the only thing that matters when it comes to college football is how much money it brings in. They've long since stopped caring about conference affiliation, rivalries, what fans think. I'll use this as an example. The University of Maryland, when they left for the Big Ten, however many years ago it is now, 10 years ago, I really don't that day, I forget what year it was. When they left behind incredible rivalries in football or basketball, it doesn't matter. Maryland left behind a bunch of rivalries. Less in football because Maryland wasn't really a football school, but they had rivalries in football with Virginia. They had rivalries in football with State or Carolina, right? I remember a lot of Maryland Clemson games when I was in college in the mid-'80s. Maryland was good. They were on the cover of Sport Magazine as the preseason #1 team in 1985. No joke. No joke. It was the year, I think it was the year after Boomer Esiason, the year that they had Frank Reich. Look, it was a really good football playing school. But in terms of basketball, when you completely ignore what built you as a basketball brand and the Maryland, North Carolina, Maryland, Duke, Maryland State, Maryland, Virginia, all of that stuff, they didn't care because it was about money. All right. Jordan Shipp is sitting down with us, wide receiver, UNC. First of all, that's a pretty sharp bow tie.
I appreciate it.
Are you a bow tie? Is this what your normal look is?
Yeah, if I'm dressed up, I'll always go bow tie.
Okay,
I
can't do it. I have my neck's too short.
I love the bow tie.
You have to have a longer neck to do a bow tie. All right. I know everybody has asked you this, and I'm sure you're exhausted from talking about it, but I am curious.
Of course.
The difference for you, like, what were your first thoughts when you heard, okay, Mac Brown was going to walk away and Bill Belichick was going to be your coach?
Let's break it down. At first, when we got the news that Coach Brown was going to be his last year with us, it was definitely a lot of uncertainty, kind of knowing, what the future held for me, just knowing if, I'm still young, knowing if I'm going to stay, just being in the right situation. Because, that's Coach Brown played a huge role in me coming to Carolina.
Right.
Him and Miss Sally as well. And I have nothing but respect for both of them. And they were amazing. They were just like extended family for me. And just them leaving that exit from them, that definitely hurt. Because, with that came along, Coach Galloway, he left. He's at Clemson now. Coach Galloway played a big part of me coming here. And then Coach Lindsey's up at Michigan. And, even guys like Coach Porter, our running backs coach, he's at West Virginia now. Just pretty much the whole staff was gone. It was just like what am I going to do? Just a lot of uncertainty. And, I'm a big faith guy. So, just praying through it, talking with my parents, talking with my family, and just keeping faith in the man above, just knowing that, whatever I do, he's not going to lead me the wrong way, and that's the biggest thing. And then once we got the news that it was going to be Belichick, it was just like wow, it's the greatest coach of all time, and I'm going to be with him every day. And it's been nothing short of just a blessing, just being able to, the knowledge that he pours in you every day, and just you can tell his want to, his attitude about everything is he wants you to be great. He's doing it. He's not doing it for himself. He has enough accolades. He's done it at the highest level 8 times. He's had the greatest quarterback. He's had the greatest receiver, arguably one of the greatest tight ends of all time. And it's just he has nothing else to prove. And the fact that he's still doing it shows that he's doing it for a bigger reason than just himself. So he definitely carries himself like that every day.
Jordan Shipp is joining us here. Real quick about Coach Brown. This is 2.0 for Mac coming back here. Mm-hmm. And it did feel like he took, and this is going to sound like almost a grandfatherly approach. He was a different version of the Mac Brown, and you're way too young to remember the first one, but it was. And Bill is, I just know him from before. He is business.
Yes, he is.
So what was the culture shock? Was there a culture shock for you? As a player, going through spring ball, here's Bill, all that. What was the difference like?
Being honest, the difference is Coach B is more hands-on with kind of how he goes about it. He spends a lot of time with the O-line, D-line, a lot of time with the defense, but he even came in over with the receivers a couple times and just teaching us small stuff. And it's just little stuff that people are doing at such a high level, in the league. So he's definitely more hands-on, but with Coach Brown, like you said, he took more of a family approach, which I feel like Coach B does too. But, Coach Brown was just on a different level when it came to that family approach.
Sure.
He had his wife at everything. Miss Sally was at everything. His family was really involved with everything, and Miss Sally helped redo the facility. She was and helped design it and stuff like that. So definitely 2 different approaches, but definitely 2 Hall of Fame ballot coaches. With both of them.
Yeah.
And, just the fact that I have such a great relationship with both is just it's crazy. People in their lifetime never meet one, and I've had the opportunity that I can call both right now. I know they'll both answer and will be happy to talk to me about whatever.
That is amazing on your playing resume, coached by Mac Brown, College Football Hall of Famer, and Bill Belichick.
Yes, it's great, man. It's amazing.
I'm sure you consider yourself incredibly lucky in that regard. So in terms of, because Bill's got to learn the college game is different. I'm not talking about the way it's played, but how has he imparted upon you and what other wide receivers maybe had a different way to approach different things? Has he done stuff like that with you?
Yeah, for sure. Really, I feel like at the end of the day, football is football. At the end of the day, no matter what level you're playing at, football is football. You can only run so many plays, so many different ways against so many different coverages. So, he's seen it all, and he's put all that in front of us. We're seeing all these unique looks in defense and a lot of complicated stuff going on. And I feel like just when I get out there and play against another defense, I feel like the only problem I could possibly have is overthinking. That's the only problem I could possibly, because I could be expecting the safety to do different things or a linebacker to drop into a deep half or something like that, and I can kind of maybe overcomplicate it. But I feel like just going back to the film study, just of what teams do, is just the way he breaks down stuff is so detailed, and it's very detailed, and he definitely demands a lot of you, but it's from a place of love and a place of respect as well. He's big on the respect thing and stuff like that. He respects us just like we respect him, and it goes both ways for sure. And there's definitely a time and place for everything. And he's just great, man. He's just sometimes you get just a loss for words for it. He's the greatest coach of all time for a reason.
But by the way, you don't seem like somebody who is at a loss for words. Jordan Shipp, wide receiver, North Carolina, is joining us here in the Adam Gold Show. Do you feel as though, and maybe you don't, and that's a good thing, that there is UNC football is under a little bit of a microscope this year? There's a lot of attention.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's a lot of attention. That's what we expect. We have the greatest coach of all time. It all goes back to that. And either way, we're still the University of North Carolina. No matter how the season goes a year ago, everybody's expecting us to compete at a high level just because, we're that Jordan brand school where the colors hold a lot of, the degree, everything like that. You're balancing a lot. But you add the greatest coach of all time to that, of course you're going to be under a microscope. But I feel like more coaches done a great job just with just telling us just stay where your feet are. Coach Kitchens emphasized that a lot.
Right.
We can't, a lot of people are asking about the TCU game. Some people have asked about us playing in Ireland. I'm we don't play in Ireland for another 365 days.
Right.
So I'm focused on this season and what we're doing here. And I'm not worried about TCU right now. I'm worried about helping my offense and my team just get to that next level, just being able to compete, being able to go and just whoop up on the defense during camp. And, I feel like camp is like a mini season in its own. Just it's every day, you have a game every day in camp. That's the proving ground. Offense, defense, the competitiveness, the nature. That's where you see what your team is going to be made of. So, I feel like that's a lot right there. So, I feel like we're not even focused on camp right now. We're focused on finishing next week, finishing the last workouts, and then we'll worry about camp once we get there. Just everything is just taking it day by day and just staying where your feet are.
All right, talk to me about your quarterback. How's Gio acclimating himself to what you guys do?
Gio's great. He's great, man. Gio's a guy. He's a leader. He came in, he was the way he came about it was definitely different. He didn't come in trying to demand stuff. He came in and his work showed what he was going to do. And I have nothing but respect for him. But then you talk about Gio, you also got to talk about Max. Max is coming back. Max is 100% healthy. Max is ready to go. Just the way he came back from his injury was just it's so resilient. That's just who he is. And the way he's a man of faith as well. And just the way he carries himself is definitely strong, and it's somebody that I definitely look up to. But then we got a freshman quarterback, Bryce Baker. Everybody knows Bryce. Bryce is a dog. The way he prepares himself, he's so mature in the way he carries himself. And then we got another freshman quarterback, Tory. He's mature in the way he carries himself too. He's always in meetings, playbook, watching film and stuff like that. And they used to talk about, do we still have quarterbacks like DJ, Mazzone, and Andy? And those are guys I feel comfortable with them playing too. I feel like no matter what we do, coach is always going to put us in a good situation to win, no matter who we go.
Jordan Shipp, wide receiver, North Carolina, joining us. Final thing before I let you go. What's campus like? As you guys, realize not all the students and not a lot of ton of students there now, but you were there in the spring. There's got to be a lot of excitement. So what's that like?
For sure. It's it's crazy because of the spotlight that's really been put on football. We've always been known as basketball school and all this, but we really feel like
basketball,
we're really turning.
What's basketball? I have no idea. We're here talking football.
I feel like we're really getting turned to a football school. People are really starting to just respect the stuff that we're starting to bring. And a lot of people are just asking how do you feel? How are you feeling? And on Franklin Street, how you doing Franklin Street a lot? I know there's some athletes that don't as much, you don't want to be seen. I love being in a community. I always love talking to my people because these are the people that are supporting me at the end of the day. And,
Right.
These are people that are my alma mater for a reason. They're people these are peers. These are adults that work in a place that I'm at every day. I'm on Franklin Street every day. It's on campus. So, I mean, just stuff like that, man. Just staying humble and just staying true to yourself is just like the biggest thing. And just always just showing love for the people that support you because you never know who you can run into.
It's true.
Know.
Welcome home. This is home for you,
This is
Charlotte. Thank you very much, Jordan. Best of luck
course.
to you
Thank
during
you.
the season. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
You guys have a good one.
You too. That's Jordan Shipp, wide receiver, North Carolina. Will Hardy, safety at UNC, will join us when we come back to ACC Football Kickoff on the Adam Gold Show.
From the heels
Touchdown, Carolina.
to the canes,
She scores!
he covers it all. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
I had questions about my child's vaccines, so I got real answers from her doctor because we share the same goal, keeping her healthy and strong. Her doctor told me that keeping up with childhood vaccines, getting them at the recommended ages and sometimes together, is a proven way to protect her from serious illnesses, ones that can be prevented with vaccines. Have questions? Get real answers. Talk to your doctor. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
Make this your best summer yet by having fun while staying active and engaged. AARP can help. Find AARP events near you by visiting aarp.org/local. That's aarp.org/local to find both in-person and virtual events. You can also learn more about living your best life by listening to AARP Without Limits, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Ask any college student. If it wasn't for the last minute, lots of assignments wouldn't get done. So if you haven't figured out your plan for college and how to pay for it yet, don't worry, you've still got time. And with the next NC Scholarship, you can still get money to pay for most or all of your tuition. To apply, just fill out your FAFSA and you could get $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for public university, and possibly more. See how easy it is to apply at nextncscholarship.org.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. Each year, 3.6 million people in the U.S. delay or skip medical care altogether simply because they can't get to a healthcare provider. From long distances to unreliable public transit to the cost of a tank of gas, it all adds up. LaPonda Edmondson, president of the North Carolina Healthcare Foundation, joins me to talk about how their social impact program is making a difference in Robeson County.
We're investing $900,000 over the course of 3 years in Robeson County. Our aim there is to be able to support these projects that address transportation as a social driver of health.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and learn more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
Healthcare? Why?
Why is it so hard?
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Really?
Really. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting all your benefits, prescriptions, and details on your computer and phone. Convinced?
No, but it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina, making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Did you know? Atlantic hurricane season runs through November. From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
My name is Gregory, and I am the primary caregiver for our 5 grandchildren. We have worked to be a source of love and stability in their lives. And Medicaid has been a source of stability for us. Medicaid helped with all the visits to the doctor, pharmacy, dentist, orthodontist, mental health therapist, and it has helped our grandchildren grow healthy and strong. Our grandkids call me Papa or Pop Pop, and I'm speaking up to protect NC Medicaid.
Learn more at ncchild.org/speakup.
That's ncchild.org/speakup.
This is Adam Gold.
He doesn't have many years to choose from.
No, and part of that was COVID. Nobody's picking COVID.
COVID was a great year.
Yeah.
Look, if you invested in Zoom,
oh, that was a good year.
You
Yes.
had a good year during COVID.
Yep.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Oh, look, my man B-Dot in the house here. That's very cool. ACC football kickoff in Charlotte. Will Hardy in just a couple of minutes. And we'll also, if we have time, based on how loquacious Will Hardy is, we'll do our seventh inning stretch.
Good word.
We will. Thank you very much. My vocabulary is not awful.
No.
Just saying. I've got words.
Don't listen to anyone.
I don't have the best ones, but I have good ones. Like they're probably top 8%. I want to just reiterate why we're here. ACC football, all of the things that are going on this season. And we actually, because we got into the football part of the discussion with Wes Durham and Roddy Jones, we didn't really delve into all of the issues. And I know Tony Petitti at the Big Ten has been harping on, automatic bids, and their the way they want to end the season in the Big Ten. And they want this uniform across all of college football, in that they want within the conference, top 2 teams go to the championship game, and then the next 4 teams play for the next 2 spots. And I do wonder if anybody really ever considers the dynamics, the human dynamic of all of this. And that if you're going to play a full season of college football, and then, oh, by the way, at the end, excuse me, my apologies. And then at the end, we're going to they're going to play, an additional game on top of this. And now we're expanding the playoff. Has anybody added those up? And if we're going to do that, and that's fine. And by the way, you're not going to find even a large swath of players who are going to say, I don't want to play the games. Except when the games have no meaning, when we talk about like a bowl game or something like that. Although I've said before, and I believe it will ultimately happen, that we will see players opt out of playoff games. Players who are thinking about, I'm going to be the 8th pick in the draft, I might not play in your playoff game. And maybe that will be held against them in a draft, but my guess is that these players will deal with it, whatever the fallout is of that, because, man, football's a dangerous game. And everybody knows who watches football that the next play could be your last play in football. In some ways, it's like life, but our day-to-day, we don't put ourselves in harm's way like they do on a football field. And I do wonder, the debate about whether or not the players should be employees. If we're doing all of this, we're only doing it for one reason, and it's okay. We're doing it for revenue, and that's fine. But you can't have it both ways. Even though they want it both ways, you can't continue to, squeeze more juice financially out of the athletes without recognizing that, okay, we are, in fact, treating them like professionals, so let's just declare them employees. I saw Bubba Cunningham here earlier. By the way, he looks just unbelievably clear of mind. Unbelievably clear of mind. He is for me, the person in this entire hotel that I envy the most. He is awesome. On to the next. I'm going to be an advisor.
It's very
That's
fancy.
what I want to be. I want to be an advisor. To me, that is the ultimate thing to do. Just be an advisor. We have the bill in the House of Representatives, which will pass. And I know there was a potential for an executive order, and maybe we'll get to that if the bill that passes the House doesn't pass the Senate, which the stuff I have read says that it won't pass the Senate. I'm not making that prediction, so whatever it is. But the reason they're doing it is to try to get protection, legal protection, for doing what they're doing. And here's the thing. It won't protect them. There will be lawsuits all the time. And until you enter into a collective bargaining relationship with your employees, and that's what the players are, we can declare them anything we want. That's what they are. Until you collectively bargain with them, you're leaving yourself open. You're going to get hit. So, unfortunately for them, that's where they are. They think they're going to escape it. They won't ever escape it. Will Hardy is going to sit down with us. Until we get to that point, why don't we stretch?
Sure.
Maybe we'll place bets, and then will sit down. So, here's our 7th inning stretch.
All right, here we go. So I read, speaking of Ozzy Osbourne, if you caught our one-timers earlier. So Ozzy actually gave his family permission to play something like Justin Bieber at his funeral. Now, he didn't specifically say Justin Bieber, but he did have a lighthearted sense of humor, I guess, when he spoke about his funeral. And he said he had a, quote, cool take on how he wanted his funeral to go down. He wanted his family to not make it a mope fest.
Right.
And celebrate his life. So he said, I honestly don't care what they play at my funeral. They can put on a melody of Justin Bieber, Susan Boyle.
I don't know who that is.
Susan Boyle was the, I think, America's Got Talent contestant or something, that she came out of nowhere. She looked like she should be a librarian, but she had this crazy voice. So, yeah, it's one of those.
Okay.
But yeah, so he wanted a celebration of life rather than a mope fest, which is exactly what they did. Now, also reading this, it gave us like some facts about things. This is really weird because Ozzy's last performance, as we know, back to the beginning, was July 5th, and he died July 22nd. That's 17 days.
Right.
Well, his friend, he is friends or used to be friends with Lemmy from Motorhead. His last gig, Lemmy, was December 11th of 2015. He died on December 28th, 17 days later. Make that make sense? So I don't know if anyone's seen the memes go around about like them meeting in heaven and all that stuff. Yeah, that's why. How weird. How weird is that? It's super weird. So yeah, more Ozzy facts because R.I.P. Ozzy. So, but next up, now, I know that we know someone who's actually in this building who might use this app. And there's an app for everything. And I know people will pick up this one. So if you are a big Disney super fan, I have good news for you. Especially if you are a big Disney super fan and you are single. However, this is not just for romance, it's also friendship. So a man in Orlando decided to make an app where it's called, quote, single riders. Now, apparently that means when you're by yourself at the theme park and you just ride by yourself,
right?
I guess. So he's making a new app now called Single Riders where other Disney superfans can get together and meet each other at the park to ride rides, which defeats the purpose of calling it a single rider. So,
right.
But he's making this to connect with other people who also love Disney on that level.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a Facebook group for that.
Oh, 100% a Facebook group. I know a lot of people and a lot of adult fans of Disney, which I can't say that I am one, but we definitely know of one.
Yes. I wonder at what age are you not allowed to wear the mouse ears?
I don't know. I've seen some. Yeah.
Yeah. Just at some point. I think it should be the same age that you cannot put ketchup on a hot dog.
I was about to say it's all going to link back to ketchup on hot dogs.
I think it's the same age. Get the ears off.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. All the same. Well, and last but not least, speaking of age limits, there's actually a new study. If you're debating on whether you should let your child have a phone. Now, I didn't grow up with a cell phone because they weren't even around then, so I didn't have the option. No. But a new study said that you should have a minimum age of 13 when giving your kid a smartphone. Minimum. That means don't give it to them when they're younger, because there's actual studies and facts that it messes them up, which we obviously can see. But this is telling us that they can be depressed, aggressive, emotionally unstable by their mid-20s. So you're going to mess your kid up just by giving them an iPhone.
That doesn't even take that long.
No.
So when this goes back a long time. I remember the first, we'll call it a mobile phone, where somebody I worked with, like, they had a big phone in a bag.
Yeah.
Right? And it almost looked like, it didn't look like a phone.
Yeah, it's a brick.
Yeah, it really was. And we had, there were phones in cars, right? But my dad didn't even, like, that always stayed in the car.
Yeah,
he didn't exactly. It was just very, very strange. I did not have a cell phone until 1999.
Okay. Yeah.
I was definitely late to the cell phone party.
Oh, and I had to ease my way in because
I had one of those Motorola Silver Bullets.
Yes, yeah. I had a track phone.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Remember when you were trying to text on those Motorola phones?
Yes.
Like, all right, the number 5 I have
1,
to do.
2, 3.
Right, exactly.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. 1,
It's
2,
impossible.
3.
You couldn't have a text conversation.
And if you were mad, who knew what you were typing at that point? Yeah.
Just forget it.
If you also had a track phone, you had to use the least amount possible because, you had to buy those minutes. So
Excellent.
That's no fun. Yeah, but basically this expert who made this article says maybe you should wait till about 16. So if you're on the fence,
well, nobody's waiting until 16.
Nobody's waiting
so
until
stop
16.
it.
You know what we should do? We should bring back the track phones. That's what we should do. And they should have those because then they can't go on the internet and be mean to each other.
Exactly.
That's
well,
the whole problem.
Before Jack got his first phone, and he is 16, going to be 17 in September. Before he got his first phone, he wanted a phone, and we realized we needed to stay in touch with him. So we got him like a burner flip phone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was so happy with that.
I miss the flip phone.
It was like punishment. We got him a phone, and it was punishment.
Oh, yeah.
How
could you do this? How dare you?
He kept leaving it in the house.
No, I'm not doing this.
Exactly.
No, but see, flip phones, you could slam it. I always loved if you're mad, you could slam the flip phone. But
All right, before we place bets, and we are going to do that, next hour we will talk with Gary Stokan of the Chick-fil-A Bowl, Justin Joly, tight end at NC State, as well as Caden Fordham, who is a linebacker with the Wolfpack. Clemson is the favorite to win the ACC. They are plus 110, I believe. So that's a pretty strong favorite. And this is to win the ACC Conference Championship game. It's not to finish first in the league. It's to win the league. They are the favorite. Second is Miami at plus 390. These odds are coming from FanDuel. Third is Louisville at plus 800. Then it's SMU at plus 900. Georgia Tech is 14-1. Duke is 27-1. I'm going down. We haven't had some of the teams that people would normally expect. Florida State, 30-1. Pittsburgh, 41-1. NC State, 42-1. North Carolina, 43-1. Optimistic State and Carolina fans, get on it. Jump on it now. Incredible value. Virginia Tech, Syracuse, we're talking about long odds here. Virginia Tech's 47-1. Syracuse is at 65-1. BC 75-1. Virginia 95-1. If Stanford were to win the ACC, 300-1.
Wow.
I mean, just $1.
Yeah. I've done it.
Just $1.
There might be a boost.
There you go. Yeah, and you can get a boost for if you bet like under $10, you get a boost.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for that. Now it's time to place some bets.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
All right. I don't have no idea if I did well yesterday or not. I wasn't paying attention to anything that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
As I was on the train, the train got left late. We got in at about 11:30.
I still need to take the train to a Panther game.
Yes, you do.
I need to do that, apparently.
Yes, you do.
Well, I don't know how I
If
did,
the train leaves on time.
My Cubs stunk yesterday,
That's too
so
bad.
thanks for that, Cubbies. But UFC Abu Dhabi is this weekend. Cannot wait. So, first up, Amanda Ribas versus Tabitha Baby Shark Ricci. You know what? I got to go with Amanda Ribas, though, as much as I like Tabitha. I'm going to go by the points. That's plus 100.
All right. I gave you the odds to win the ACC. SMU plus 900. Let's have a rematch of the ACC championship game that we had this past year with an opposite result. SMU behind Kevin Jennings to beat Clemson in the ACC title game and win the title.
Nice. Peter Yan. I love watching this little guy fight. He's so good. Versus Marcus McGee. Give me Peter Yan to win by the points because he likes to leave it to the judges. That's minus 145.
All right. The Blue Jays are in Detroit to take on the Tigers. Give me a Spencer Torkelson. That is a great name. A Spencer Torkelson. Anytime home run plus 320. Just to say Spencer Torkelson out loud. It just gives me an unusual thrill.
Exactly. I love weird names. I've got one. Robert
Spencer?
Whitaker. Yeah, that
Spencer's not that weird.
Robert Whitaker versus DeRitter. I love Whitaker. He's a vet, so give me him to win. And you know what? Do it by knockout. Plus 170.
All right. This is in Abu Dhabi?
Yes.
All right.
Starts early Saturday.
How
just
early?
So you know. I want to say it's like 1, potentially.
1 in the afternoon.
Yes.
It's not that bad.
No. Brunch and punch. It's my favorite. 12. Noon.
All right. Very good. All right. We got to close on soccer, right?
Yes.
Coming up on Sunday. I'm not here tomorrow. Coming up on Sunday, the Women's Euro Championship match, England and Spain. So I think we're going the distance. We're going to penalties. If you just want to end it there, plus 550. But how about Spain to win in penalties at plus 1,100? Have some fun. Justin Joly, next hour, NC State tight end.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Join 99.9 The Fan live from Charlotte this week as we bring you the stories from ACC Football Kickoff.
Touchdown, Carolina!
We'll talk with the impact players and coaches from Carolina, Duke, and State and get their thoughts on the new college football season. Don't miss a single minute. It's ACC Football Kickoff.
Touchdown, Wolfpack!
Presented by Wilkinson Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Sanford. Listen on 99.9 The Fan. Watch with 99.9 The Fan on YouTube.
What sounds like a fun weekend?
Let's rent e-bikes and have a picnic.
What does not sound like a fun weekend?
We need to fix the gutters. Let's make 6 trips to the hardware store and still end up with leaky spots.
Preserve your weekend, your home, and investment, and call Preserve Services instead. Our Preserve team excels in interior and exterior painting and home repairs. We're your one-stop shop in the Triangle for jobs you need done, but don't want to tackle. And get this, you don't pay a penny until the job's done. Schedule today at PreserveServices.com.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated the kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or 2 Bird Dog Combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Welcoming you back to appointment day at the Martinez house. Raul Martinez looking stressed about scheduling a colon cancer screening, but he just pledged to get screened.
Stand Up to Cancer and Optum want to help you reduce your risk for cancer. Visit takeahealthystand.org.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for 2 with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
You have to stack some wins early if you want to, 1, beat that win total of 6.5, and then 2, be competitive. I don't think there's a team in the division with Bucks, Falcons, Saints that is, miles and miles better than the Panthers. But, I think right now that division's so wide open. These division games are going to flip 2 wins in there that all those factors contribute to the Panthers' variance. If they start 0-4, you can't wave the season goodbye, but it's going to be a tough road to hoe, even with 3 of those on the road.
Will Brinson from yesterday on the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Our final hour here at ACC Football Kickoff. It started with a bang with Wes Durham and Roddy Jones in just a free-flowing conversation about the league and the sport and how the league needs to present itself going forward and the schools that need to really step forward. And just in a very quick summation of that, Clemson has a lot of pressure on it to perform because we all know that they are not only the lead dog in this pack, but they also have the personnel that is built to win this league and challenge nationally. I'm not saying no excuse is not the right way to put it, but the Clemson Tigers should be a national player all season long. Beyond that, there are some very good teams. SMU is a very good team. Miami is a very good team. Even locally, Duke might be a very good team. They were good last year. I think they'll be good this year. But really, it's about your best teams being great, and then the brands have to get back to being what the brands are. Virginia Tech, I know Roddy said it's a lot of time has passed since Virginia Tech has been relevant, not just nationally, but in the ACC. And I'm not saying you lose that, because I don't think Virginia Tech will ever lose football culture. But they used to be the Thursday night show on ESPN. You don't have to go back that far, where Virginia Tech, they appeared in how many of the first, 8 or 9 ACC championship games? It was either them or Georgia Tech. And the Hokies just have not been really even good for the most part. It almost seems like it's been a decade. So teams like Virginia Tech have to get back to playing good football. Louisville's got to be good. And then, obviously, locally for us, Carolina and State, and we all know how much Carolina is going to be in the crosshairs nationally all year long. And Wes talked about a referendum in week 1. Unfortunately, college football, when so much is driven by public opinion, week 1 is going to go a long way into shaping narratives about teams and leagues. Carolina's opener against TCU, ESPN is bringing the whole crew. So a 5 or 6 man strong College Game Day will be there for Monday night for the hour-long pregame show on site in Chapel Hill on ESPN. And then Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe will have the call Labor Day night. So the attention starts early, and that will be the focus of our Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
I don't know if you've heard this, but Bill Belichick is North Carolina's head football coach. He was, back in the day, a fairly accomplished NFL coach. So, with having no experience coaching college football, certainly not as a head coach, what is he enjoying the most about this transition?
It's just all the people that have been involved in the program. As I said, the donor events have been, several hundred there, alumni and friends and, people in administration. It's really fun to be part of a school. I grew up in Annapolis at the Naval Academy, and there's only one team. There's Navy. It didn't matter if it was Navy baseball, Navy lacrosse, Navy football, Navy swimming, Navy this, Navy that. Like, you always root for the same team. But it was a lot of different teams. And of course now, they didn't have women's sports in, but now with women's sports and success of the men's and women's programs at North Carolina, it's fun to go to the other games, talk to the other coaches, interact with those student athletes. We have student athletes on our team that have also played other sports at Carolina.
All right, so, I mean, it could be me, and maybe it's like the public perception is clouding my judgment here. I have a hard time wrapping my mind around Bill enjoying those donor events.
No.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to do some digging on that, because I just don't see Bill digging that. Anyway,
we'll go ask him when we run into
exactly.
him here.
I'm sure I'll be here in a minute. Here's the thing. Bill, and I was being facetious, he was a fairly accomplished coach. When we talked to Jordan Shipp, wide receiver at UNC, I don't know how many times he used the phrase, greatest coach of all time. But are you going to argue? I mean, I think he is the greatest professional coach of all time. He's the greatest, to me, he's the greatest NFL coach ever. Does that reputation, does that change the way he interacts with people? And that was one of the things they talked about was, essentially, how do you, when you approach people, whether it's recruits or otherwise, how does your rep, how does that help going in?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on who it is. If it's a recruit, it's one thing. If it's, a player that is already on your team, say transfer or a freshman that's coming in that's committed, that's a little bit different. It's an alumni. it's a little bit different, but just try to be myself and usually talk about what they want to talk about. Things the alumni are interested in, or maybe a little bit different than what seniors in high school are interested in. Yeah. And honestly, what some of the seniors in high school are interested in is a little bit different than what some of the moms and dads are interested in. So those situations, are all unique, and But look, in the end, what we're here for is to develop players, both on and off the field. We want them to be good football players. We want them to get a great education, which academically Carolina takes care of that. But we support that strongly.
That's Bill Belichick. I mean, to me, that is fascinating, because I do wonder. I mean, the recruits know who Bill Belichick is. They've watched. Although, if you're talking to a high school junior, does he remember? Really? Does he remember the best of the New England Patriots era? Probably not. So it might even be, it might be about talking to parents, impressing parents. All right, one more thing, and then we'll break, and then Justin Joly, NC State tight end, will sit down. And the vision for UNC football is what?
The future right now for us is the start of camp. And and then the future after that will be the first week of camp and so forth. So short term, we got a lot of things we need to do, and we need to use our time efficiently. Every team's got the same opportunity, right? They got the same number of practices, 25 practices in 31 days where they open the season, whatever it is. So, we need to use our time and our opportunities as productively as we can to get our team ready to go, and that'll be the same way every week as we prepare for games. So, I'm not going to get into where we're going to be 10 years from now. I don't know where we're going to be 10 days from now, but we're going to take each one of these days and try to make it as productive as possible and see where we are at the end of the day, what we need to go back and spend more time on, what we feel good about, we can move ahead on.
Just wanted to get back to the brand of Bill Belichick. Well, essentially, we're on to tomorrow's practice. And that's the way they're going to approach it. And it's not designed to be entertaining or introspective. It's that is the way he has always operated. That's the way his teams have always operated. It has been successful. As I have said before, I will say again, I am fascinated by how this is going to work out. I think there should be very low expectations for year one, but I do think what happens in year one lays the foundation for what happens going forward. So my guess is, as good a coach as he is, I don't think this is a one-year deal. I think this is, a lot closer to 3 and more than it is 1. I know there are people that think this is going to be it. There are people who don't think he's going to coach out the year. Whatever. I believe he will. I believe that he is absolutely invested in this process. Now, I also believe it is entirely transactional on both sides. UNC and the community using Bill to get better football. Bill using UNC to maybe prove a point to the NFL, but I don't even think it's about that. Because once I think he turned his focus here, it's about proving that what he has a vision of in terms of what a college football program can be in this era, that he's right. And I believe he is going to try and pull that off in Chapel Hill. All right, when we come back, Justin Joly, one of the best tight ends in college football, not to mention one of the best dressed. Next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Panthers training camp is almost here, and it's finally time, Panthers fans. Go all out to win. The years prior to this, it's about draft picks. It's about playing the younger guys, making sure they get their experience, maybe even above winning games. But this year, all of that changes. Dave Canales, Bryce Young, it's time to win.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at X Golf in Cary, and I have your weekend plans because I've seen the weather report for Saturday and Sunday, and it's brutal. So let's play golf indoors in the Golden Pint Scramble, 2 days, scramble-style event. And remember, if you need to know what that is, playxgolf.com/Cary. The 26th, 27th of July, 1 to 4, Trophy Brewing on site, all sorts of things you can taste, and prizes to be won if you're good enough. Playxgolf.com/Cary.
The Jeep deals are on with the Make This the Summer event at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Save as much as $17,000 off a shiny new 2024 Jeep Wrangler. How about a 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Limited for over $10,000 off with so many to choose from? Got your eye on the 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S? Well, you should, because John Heister's got them for over $12,000 off, all in stock. Go anywhere, do anything. Just get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Hey, daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Brought to you by the Original Super Glue. By qualifying Original Super Glue products and save $10 per ticket. Offer available at participating town and country hardware stores. See stores for details. Coming to Lenovo Center this weekend.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Because you guys do everything for the exterior of your home, these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the Aluminum Company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The Aluminum Company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest, and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done?
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
When it comes to back-to-school shopping at Target, you can choose not to choose. From getting what you need to expressing who you are. With prices that make every choice feel right, why not choose all of the above? From backpacks, bedazzled kicks, and picture day perfect styles as bold as they are. For bring your own lunch days to science project partner days, snack stash days, decorate your locker days, and paint outside the line days. All at prices that will definitely make your day. For all of the above, it's back to school at Target.
This is Adam Gold.
You know, soap attracts dirt, right? That's what soap does. It attracts dirt. Right now, Bill Belichick is soap. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's soap.
Yeah.
He's attracting all this dirt.
Or he's like an overripe banana and it's attracting all these gnats.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. ACC football kickoff. Victoria's here.
Yes.
David Modelin making sure we're on the air. Graham Hill is Sir Mix-a-Lot for us today. And I thank him for his time. We are going to chat more about the sport in general coming up in a little bit. But I have a son that appreciates a good-looking outfit. And it is with that as a backdrop that we welcome in NC State's tight end, Justin Joly. Because I have a teenage son. That right there, Justin Joly, is a fit. All right. When did you put this together? How long have you had this? It's a great look.
Actually just came out the lab probably like a couple days ago. Fun fact.
Out of the lab?
Out of the lab, man. Out of the lab.
That is awesome. There's a lot. Tight end at NC State, there are a lot of expectations on you. How has your summer gone? I don't know how much you pay attention. I'm sure you hear about it from people. Oh, man, you were picked first team this, third. How has that maybe even driven you this summer?
I still have the same drive that I have when I first got here, man. I want to win games. I want to help win games. And, obviously the outside's the outside. I'm really just worried about the inside. What's in Raleigh, what's in that building, what my teammates need from me, what my coach need from me, what the staff need from me. So I would say there's nothing that I can't get better on. There's nothing I can't work on to be better. So whatever my teammates and my coaches need from me, that's what I'm here for.
What attracted you to NC State when you had made the decision to leave UConn?
I'm going to sound like a broken record here. I've been saying family. I
Right.
would say that when I left, when my parents left me in North Carolina, they're like, hey, you're going to be good. And I was like, honestly, I believe you guys. I feel like no matter what, like someone who's been like a really good family member to me is Gavin Locklear and the Locklear family. I would say those two have been pivotal for me here. They've helped me so many times, and they've like, if I can't go home, I know I can go somewhere else and still feel at home.
That's very cool, because for I don't know how many years running this would be the case. Everybody has said the same thing about the NC State, all the players, that there is a family atmosphere and a camaraderie. Were you part of that fishing expedition?
Yeah, I caught some, man. I think I caught a bass.
Did you?
Yeah, first time fishing.
Who caught first time? Okay, first
time fishing.
Well, you're a New York area kid.
Yes, sir.
I grew up also in the New York area. We don't do a lot of fishing.
No, not really.
We just not. I mean, you go upstate, and then you're from New Rochelle, right?
No, I'm not actually. That's just where I went to high school. I'm actually from Brewster.
Okay,
a little bit farther up.
All right.
Yeah.
So you might have. So why didn't you fish? Never mind. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Now, I have it on a little bit of inside information that the head coach caught the biggest fish. Is that true?
Well, he was farming like the same little fish spot for the whole 30 minutes. So I don't know.
Okay.
I think he just recaught and caught the same fish about 40 times. But don't let him know that I said that.
Well, we're not recording this or anything. What is it about Dave Doeren that you like?
He has a switch. He knows when it's time to have fun and when he knows it's time to, play ball, man.
Right.
He knows when it's time to be in that mode, and I think I can appreciate that about Coach Doeren. He's here for the fun of games, but, when it's time to, put that ball down and play some football, it's time to put that ball down and play some football. You feel me?
I do. I absolutely do. He is, especially as we get to know him more, really the stuff you can have fun with him. NFL tight end you like to watch the most, somebody you would like to emulate?
So when I first started, I would say Kyle Pitts. I've really taken a liking to Sam Laporta in his game.
Okay.
I would say Dawson Knox.
Okay.
And are we talking about right now or all time?
If you want to give me all time, you want to go old school, that's fine.
I would say obviously there's Gronk. There's Gronk, Tony Gonzalez, Jimmy Graham. There's a Swiss Army knife for the Saints right now. I'm missing his name.
I'm not going to help you there. I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No, none.
But he does a little bit of everything. He a little wide out, tight end, QB.
Oh, what's his name? I don't know. Again, I should probably know his name too, but no big deal. Nobody's paying attention to that. So that's cool. So that's obviously your goal is to become part of that. You got to go to tight end university.
Yeah, no, I would love to. I followed them for a couple of years now. Waiting for that follow back. Hopefully, I would love that follow back. By the way, but yeah, man. But honestly, I got to worry about what's in front of me right now. I got to worry about the main thing. So, obviously the NFL is in the future, but, you got to have the present to have the future.
All right, final thing. East Carolina, the opener, first Thursday of the season. Any added juice based on what happened in the bowl game?
The amount of juice that I have for ECU is the amount of juice I have for every team. So there's a ton of juice. I love the game of football. I love to compete, but I love winning a little bit more. So
all right, congratulations on catching a fish.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just enjoy. By the way, we found out afterwards that it was Taysom Hill. My son is with me here. He goes, "Dad, Taysom Hill. What the hell's wrong with you?" All right, so when we come back, the Bill Belichick big press conference is in the books. A review, and we'll also talk a little position group personnel with Michael Felder, who knows more about football than any two people I know. Next.
Talking sports so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Your child's doctor shares your goals. A healthy future for your child. Doctors recommend vaccines throughout childhood because they protect what matters most. Your child's future from preventable disease and serious illness. Discuss any questions you have and check that your child is up to date and talk about any concerns. You're right to have questions. Get real answers. Start a conversation with your doctor today. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
Make this your best summer yet by having fun while staying active and engaged. AARP can help. Find AARP events near you by visiting aarp.org/local. That's aarp.org/local to find both in-person and virtual events. You can also learn more about living your best life by listening to AARP Without Limits wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Ask any college student. If it wasn't for the last minute, lots of assignments wouldn't get done. So if you haven't figured out your plan for college and how to pay for it yet, don't worry, you've still got time. And with the next NC Scholarship, you can still get money to pay for most or all of your tuition. To apply, just fill out your FAFSA and you could get $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for public university, and possibly more. See how easy it is to apply at nextncscholarship.org.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. Each year, 3.6 million people in the U.S. delay or skip medical care altogether simply because they can't get to a healthcare provider. From long distances to unreliable public transit to the cost of a tank of gas, it all adds up. LaPonda Edmondson, president of the North Carolina Healthcare Foundation, joins me to talk about how their social impact program is making a difference in Robeson County.
We're investing $900,000 over the course of 3 years in Robeson County. Our aim there is to be able to support these projects that address transportation as a social driver of health.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and learn more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
Healthcare? Why?
Why is it so hard?
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Really?
Really. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting all your benefits, prescriptions, and details on your computer and phone. Convinced?
No, but it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina, making healthcare better for all, starting with you.
Did you know Atlantic hurricane season runs through November? From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
My name is Gregory, and I am the primary caregiver for our 5 grandchildren. We have worked to be a source of love and stability in their lives, and Medicaid has been a source of stability for us. Medicaid helped with all the visits to the doctor, pharmacy, dentist, orthodontist, mental health therapist, and it has helped our grandchildren grow healthy and strong. Our grandkids call me Papa or Pop Pop, and I'm speaking up to protect NC Medicaid.
Learn more at ncchild.org/speakup. That's ncchild.org/speakup.
One Adam. Gold. One Adam. Gold.
Because if interrupting is part of the talent, then she wins.
Giving an RBF face? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, everybody saw it.
I didn't say it.
That picture
did not say that.
when they were asking Bill and she interrupts him and they look at her. That's evil. Like,
Yeah.
I was waiting for the lights to come out of her pupils.
You're not wrong.
The Adam Gold Show.
ACC football kickoff. I am Adam Gold. The incredible, irrepressible, I'm not even sure that's a word, Mike Felder, Sirius XM, College Football Radio. It's Felder, the Substack.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Look
Nice
at
to
these
see you.
stairs.
What? Oh my God! Why? What?
I was in Memphis this past weekend.
Right.
So I'm in Memphis for a family reunion. Show her the stairs.
I'm showing you the stairs. I can't show the listeners the stairs. There's a lot of stairs. It's like the Rocky stairs.
Yeah,
in Philly.
It's wild.
You didn't have to run up those stairs, did you?
I mean, I had to get up them.
Okay. Yeah, but you're an athlete.
I didn't want to do those stairs. I can tell you that.
All right. We have limited time with you. I know you're upstairs for the Bill Belichick press conference.
Yes. I
was that a humdinger?
Umdinger?
Yes. Very nice.
He said
right.
a lot. He said a lot. And I will tell you this guy, look, he's a coach. We always talk about him as like a guy that can use his strategy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He used that strategy perfectly. He got to do his unbroken press conference, right?
Right.
Where he gets to talk at you.
Right.
And then get to tell you what he wants to say. And then he got to do his questions. I was up there for this.
Right.
3 questions. 3. He had the guy, whoever was the MC. All right, and now we have Coach Belichick for 10 minutes for all of your questions. Now hands shoot up.
Of course.
3 questions.
Were the questions any good?
Yeah,
that's the problem. He's intimidating.
No, it's not even that. It's I think they picked the guy. They're like, one guy asked about Dabo Swinney, so he gets to him and haw about Dabo and talks about Christian Wilkins. I'm like, he doesn't have nothing to do with you. And he gets to him and haw and go through all this stuff and like, what are we doing? And it's a great environment. And he said, more than anything. He said so much ums. I'm telling you, man, if ums and ifs were, I don't have a saying for that one. I know that if ifs and ands were pots and pans, the world would be a kitchen, and that's what it felt like.
That is your phrase. The world would be a kitchen.
That's my mom's phrase.
Right. Here's the thing. That's exactly what Bill wanted to do. It's funny. For some reason, there were expectations that, that Bill would make the rounds in here.
Yeah, no chance.
We're smarter than that, right?
Yeah, he's done.
Just because Dabo does it, Dabo likes it.
Yeah, I talked to Dabo today.
Yeah,
I talked to Dabo not at Learfield. I talked to Dabo just talking to him.
I saw you talking to Cade Klubnik. you bro hugged Cade Klubnik. You are different than everybody else in here, Mike Felder.
There's a couple different things. Cade Klubnik is my next door neighbor's favorite player.
Okay.
And last year, he did a video for my next door neighbor, and my next door neighbor ultimately, I think, DM'd Cade and was like, "Thank you so much. That made my day."
Oh, wow.
And so Cade remembered, and Cade was like, "Oh yeah, of course I'll do it again." And so, but I also, with respect to Cade Klubnik, I think that we're looking at. I will say this: I think Arch Manning is QB1.
Okay.
I think
for the draft,
for this season.
Okay.
I think Cade is QB2.
Really? That's it. Because setting Arch Manning aside, there's a lot of pressure on him for a lot of reasons, including the last name Manning.
I'm gonna tell you something. If you go to St. Louis for your squadron, and you're like if your boy asks you, "Hey, come to like the hood in St. Louis and help me out," and you pull up, and everybody they get down with you,
right?
you're a real one. Like it's the same as Jake Fromm and even Stetson Bennett. Like he's got that energy from me. But remember, this is a guy. I don't want to steer away from the ACC, but this is a guy in Arch Manning he's been going to the Manning Passing Academy for his entire life.
Yeah.
So he knows.
It's like born there.
He understands like guys that come from different guy from Tampa, guy from Jacksonville, guy from LA, guy from somewhere in Texas. Like he understands that, and I think that understanding is why I think with the skills is going to be one. But Cade also, I can't wait to talk to. I got Woods coming up. Who do I have? I have Woods and I have Parker coming up.
Okay,
and I think Cade also. What did the kids say? Get it out the mud.
Okay.
I think he gets it. I think Cade is one of those. He's a real one. Like those guys, because it's not about how your tight end room or your offensive line room, the way that they respect you. It's about getting respect from your wide receivers, from your defensive backs, from your defensive linemen.
Sure.
And that came out wild, didn't it? It came out like that's me, like for real. Like that was me not putting on. I said lineman. I dropped my radio voice for a second.
Mike Felder, let me ask you about Clemson's personnel.
Yes, sir.
Because I'll go back to the Trevor Lawrence era. Lawrence was, I thought, better as a freshman in terms of his performance than he was as a junior. A lot of that has to do with the personnel dropping off. So is Clemson back to being Clemson in terms of their roster? So Klubnik doesn't have to do everything like Lawrence had to do as a junior. Is Clemson's, 50, 60 player, their best players, are they good enough?
Yeah, they are. They are. Good enough to win the ACC? 1. Good enough to win a national championship? 2. Yes, absolutely.
They are national championship
This
caliber.
is a national championship contender team. All right, let me.
Do Wes Durham want to talk to you?
Yes, I got to do. Give me one. Wes, give me one. Wes, give me one. So, I think they are good enough to win a national championship. Realistically, this is a team that's going to put up a big fight. I know because
No, you're good. Fine.
They're going to put up a big fight every single game, and they should win every game. I will say this too. I think the state of South Carolina has the best quarterback situation with Lenore Sellers and Cade Klubnik. Those are the two guys. Those two guys are better. You find me a state in this country that has a better 2 quarterback situation from their major schools.
Okay, I'm going to work on it. You go back and talk to Wes. It's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. It's really all good, Mike. And you and I are going to reconvene.
Sounds good.
In a couple of weeks.
I'm good all week.
I know you are.
All right, sounds good. Thank
Mike,
you.
That's Mike Felder. It's Felder the Substack, where he makes hot dog buns. I ain't kidding. All right. Earlier today, we do this every year, and I know people go, "Well, what does a bowl rep really do?" Well, Gary Stokan is the CEO of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Now, they figure prominently not just as a bowl game, but they're part of the college football playoff ecosystem. The city of Atlanta, when they host the national championship game, that's his baby, all of that. But Gary also has his heart in intercollegiate athletics, and we talked about football as a whole and more. Here's Gary Stokan. I'm just going to leave it kind of open for you.
Okay.
Because you have got your finger on the pulse of college football and everything that is going on.
Are you blaming me for everything that's going on?
I'm asking you your opinion of where the industry's in good shape, right? The business of college football is in good shape.
Right.
But what about the structure of college football? Do you like where we're headed? What do you think?
Well, I will give you my vision of what I think.
I'm just going to leave it kind of open for you.
Okay.
Because you have got your finger on the pulse of college football and everything that is going on.
Are you blaming me for everything that's going on?
I'm asking you your opinion of where the industry's in good shape, right? The business of college football is in good shape.
Right.
But what about the structure of college football? Do you like where we're headed? What do you think?
Well, I will give you my vision of what I think should ultimately happen.
Okay.
Now, it's not going to happen, but
Okay, that's fine. I say a lot of things that I think should happen.
I
and
would
don't.
take all of the Olympic sports and I would place them in their respective NGBs for competition. So I'd have USA Gymnastics take gymnastics, USA Swimming take swimming, USA Rifle take rifle, USA Diving, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I would put a commissioner of college baseball, women's basketball, college men's basketball, and college football. And I would have a board in each of those sports comprised of 2 presidents, 2 ADs, 2 coaches, 2 players, and 2 commissioners. And
Right.
that board would support that organization, that commissioner of that sport, to think about that sport 24/7
Okay.
and regulate that sport and make sure that sport was successful. I am not a big believer in committees. I think that's one of the fallacies of the NCAA, and I think that's partly why we're in the situation we're in of chaos. And I've been a benefactor of, college athletics, and my personal philosophy of life is God's gift to you is life, and your present to him is maximizing the God-given talents he's blessed you with. And so when things don't get maximized, it drives me nuts and I go crazy. And so I don't think we're maximizing the potential of college athletics right now. I don't see, I see us getting away from the mission of college athletics and turning into a professionalized sport, which concerns me because at the end of the day, we should be all about giving kids an opportunity for a scholarship, getting him a free education, getting him a degree, and getting him a job or her a job. And I think we've missed that because everything is focused on the professional level. And 98% of these kids, whether it's tennis or basketball or baseball or football or swimming or diving, whatever, they're not going to play professional sports.
Right.
And so our job is to take young people and get them a degree and give them the opportunity to get a job. So these collectives shouldn't exist for pay for play. They should exist to give, if they're alumni of the schools, they should give these kids jobs once they graduate, because everybody's going to have to pick up a lunch pail at some point. And so that's what I think the universities should do. They should be incubators for getting these kids jobs and making them productive people in our society as they move forward in their life.
Gary Stokan with the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I'm going to talk about the kickoff games, but so we didn't even really talk so much about football and what that's doing to everything, because football is really what's driving the widespread professionalism.
Right.
And could we solve this simply by separating football from the rest? And I understand
I think that would help.
The issues with basketball, and baseball, right? But if we separated football acted as its own entity, and we can, pretend that it doesn't matter that Stanford and Boston College are in the same league, or that Southern Cal and Rutgers are in the same league, but let them just be, NFL light, and have all of the other sports resume being intercollegiate athletics. There's obviously going to be a connection. Would that help solve our problems?
I don't think it would solve the problems. I think
Help.
it helps. Yeah, it helps. But I think we've got to, there's so many things going on right now. Obviously, you need Congress to step in. There needs to be some legislation that's nationwide because we have so many state laws. I just read where, I think it was New Jersey, put in a law, maybe it was North Carolina even, put in a law that you cannot negatively impact anybody who has a personal NIL deal, or they don't have to go through the Deloitte CSC process.
Right.
You can't have that. If you're going to be a nationalized sport, you need nationalized rules, and we can't have state by state having separate rules. It affects recruiting. It affects the day-to-day. So, yeah, you got the 8-9 games. You got the CFP playoff. What's it going to look like? You've got Congress and the antitrust. You've got the transfer portal. We've got so many things going on that I don't think you can serve the constituency, which is the student athlete, with committees.
Right.
I think you need professional people focused on. I mean, the NFL, they have people 24/7 thinking about what's in the best interest of professional football. We need the same thing in sport, in the various sports that we have. But the underlying structure of it all needs to be educational and getting kids degrees. And I'm reading where 25% of the kids that are transferring more than once are not getting their degrees now. That's not good. That's not our mission. Our mission is not to be professional sports. Our mission is to be college athletics. And there's so many great things that happen out of college athletics and development of student athletes. But we need to focus on that. And we have so many other things going on that, is taking us away from that.
All right, let's talk about the two games you got to kick us off.
Got two great ACC-SEC matchups.
Outstanding. Syracuse won 10 games last year.
Yeah.
I've joked, I'm not sure why they're playing Tennessee, but maybe Syracuse is legitimately good, because I'm on this mission of the ACC should schedule smarter, not necessarily harder. But Syracuse did win 10, and Tennessee's, I would say, in transition.
But even to that now, the ACC has gone to paying more money to schools that get higher viewership in games. So you
Syracuse
have that dichotomy going on, right?
Everybody's going to be watching that.
Syracuse and Tennessee. And watch this. Our Clemson-Georgia game last year in the Aflac kickoff game was ranked in the top 10 of viewed games all the way through week 10 of college football. Because the first week of the season, people are starving to watch college football because they haven't seen it in so long.
Right.
And so these Aflac kickoff games and the other, you got Clemson, LSU, you got Miami, Notre Dame, you got Ohio State, Texas. These games are going to be the most viewed games all the way through the season. And so I've had coaches come up to me this week and say, Gary, I got to get in your Aflac kickoff game because this viewership payout now is real.
That's right.
So, that's an interesting situation going on as well.
All right, who's going to be rooting in the Beamer household, in the Frank Beamer household? Who's going to be rooting for who in Beamer Bowl? Virginia Tech, South Carolina.
I had dinner with Frank and Cheryl Beamer and Jim Grobe and Holly Grobe 2 weeks ago at our lake house up in Lake Oconee.
Nice,
and
nice
Cheryl,
name dropping.
Cheryl Beamer was scolding me.
Really?
For scheduling the Beamer Bowl. And she said, Gary, what are you doing to me? But she'll be rooting for Shane, obviously. But she said, Garnet and Maroon are somewhat close in color, so that's not bad. But we're going to honor Frank Beamer and Cheryl Beamer before the game, and then Frank is going to do the invocation because Frank he's won our Chick-fil-A kickoff game when it was Chick-fil-A, now Aflac kickoff game. He's won our Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl game.
Yeah.
He's won our Peach Bowl Challenge golf tournament with Del Curry when we first got started. And he's won the Dodd Trophy, which we manage and operate as well for Coach of the Year. So Frank Beamer has been inextricably tied to us all throughout his career. And you couldn't find a classier, better coach than Frank Beamer. And I look at Shane through his first 4 years, and I can say the same thing about Shane and what he's done in overachieving at South Carolina. And, they won, 10 games last year as well.
He is a very good coach. They are always prepared. I made a list of games that the ACC has to win in week 1. I don't put this as a you must win it because I don't know where Virginia Tech is on their
They got Jones and Watson back, which is good.
Yes.
Anytime you can have your quarterback coming back, that helps with another year of maturity.
But the Carolina TCU, UNC's got to win that. The Georgia Tech game at Colorado, they got to win that.
Yeah.
There's certain games that they must win. I don't know if Miami Notre Dame is a must win, but
it would certainly help.
Because I mean, this as somebody watches and follows college football. the perception of your league
No doubt about it.
is made in weeks 1 and 2.
You can
maybe
schedule
3.
these games, but you got to win them. And at the end of the day, these are games that you can schedule.
Right.
Out of conference, because your conference schedule, you don't do the scheduling of that, and you're playing it within your conference.
Mhm.
So you make your mark by playing outside the conference. And these games, what we've learned through the history of 18 years of putting on these AFLAC kickoff games is the CFP selection committee looks at these games as differentiation points because you're playing outside your conference. Who did you play? Where'd you play them? And how did you do? And so these are games that are very, very important in, figuring out who's going to make the playoff. And you got South Carolina and Virginia Tech. A Virginia Tech win propels them because South Carolina's going to be ranked top 15.
Mhm.
A potential Heisman Trophy candidate with Nora Sellers. You got Tennessee, who made the playoffs last year. It's going to be ranked top 20. The quarterback situation changed it a
Well,
little
we know
bit.
the quarterback from App State. He was very good.
Yeah, and so he's back
Right.
there at Tennessee with, a very good team with him. So, if Syracuse can get over the hump on that game, it's going to change the perspective, like you say, of the ACC and football.
Right, and then it makes those games, the games that, like Miami played Syracuse at the end. We'll close on this because I have not figured out for the life of me why this is the debate. Why we had the debate between Indiana and Alabama for the last, wasn't the last spot, but for a spot in the playoff.
Right.
And why that debate wasn't Indiana and Miami, whose only 2 losses were to a Georgia team or Georgia Tech team that should have beaten Georgia, and Syracuse, who won 10 games. Those were Miami's 2 losses.
That's a great
Why
point.
wasn't that the debate? And they crushed Florida at the start of the season. For the life of
And
me.
they had the best quarterback in the country
Right.
on their team. Right.
Other than that, why? But nationally speaking, it was never mentioned.
And I
ever.
think, unfortunately, Miami going 9-0 and then losing 3 of the last 4.
Right.
I think, or
2 of the last
3.
2 of the
I
last
should
3.
say. That hurt them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt them.
But how didn't? Never mind.
Yeah.
Gary Stokan from the. And is there anything else that we need to bring up that I forgot?
No, I just our AFLAC kickoff game is played during the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and so we have a kickoff for a cause. We work with AFLAC, where we'll raise over $500,000 to put back into the AFLAC Cancer and Blood Disorder Center in Atlanta. That they paid $140 million to create this to help kids. We've put $23 million into the AFLAC Cancer and Blood Disorder Center from the Peach Bowl to create trials, to find cures, to eradicate childhood cancer. We now have 14 trials in 5 different hospitals in 4 different states. From neuroblastoma to leukemia, we're trying to find a cure to eradicate some childhood cancer, to give kid another month, another year, or maybe another lifetime to live. And so we're using college football for the greater good. We've donated $23 million, as I said, to this. We'll raise another $500,000 for those trials. But in total, we've given $68 million to charity since our beginning. And that's made us the most charitable bowl organization in the country. So along with making Atlanta the capital of college football by having the College Football Hall of Fame, moving it there and putting $13 million into that, creating the AFLAC kickoff game. Now in the CFP, we'll host the semifinal this year in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, and we hosted the quarterfinal last year with Arizona State, Texas in the double overtime game. And we hosted the national championship in Atlanta as well. So basically in a calendar year, we've hosted all 3 major events of the CFP in Atlanta. And so, we're using college football for the greater good, and happy to do it and pleased and great to be involved with the ACC, the SEC, the Big 12, and the Big 10 and doing that.
Thank you so much for sitting down. I appreciate
Thanks
You're a good
for
man.
always having me. I appreciate it. Say hi to all my friends in Raleigh and
You got it.
all the Wolfpackers.
That is Gary Stokan from the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl and the AFLAC kickoff game here at ACC Football Kickoff. All right, by just say hi to all my friends back in Raleigh. I don't know if Gary forgot. He was on in Raleigh, so I don't have to say that.
Yeah.
He's eliminated that from my to-do list. Appreciate that. All right, so we're just about done here with our portion of ACC Football Kickoff. Now, I realize that we did not hear a ton from the University of North Carolina. We did speak with Justin Shipp, the wide receiver, and we did not hear from Bill Belichick. But frankly, that is all by design. And I laugh at. I guess we weren't paying attention to Bill as a head coach for 25 years, whether it was the Browns or the Patriots. This ain't what Bill wants to do. So when he spent a year away from football and he showed personality in all of his media jobs, if you will, maybe that gave people a sense that he was going to be different. I wouldn't expect him to be different. I would expect him to be the same. And frankly, as I've said, it doesn't really matter what he gives us. Doesn't matter. If Bill doesn't ever want to talk to me or a newspaper reporter, doesn't matter. It only matters what that team does on Saturdays, and we'll find out down the road just how good they are. Again, I wouldn't be too concerned about what happens this year, but it does start. I think this is a long process. I think I am alone, not alone, but I think I'm in the minority of people who think that this is going to be a long-term deal. And for long-term, 3 years is probably long-term. I mean, he is in his 70s, and we'll see if he can get this up and running. And the truth of this matter to me is that I don't believe it will be a long process to get the program to where he thinks it needs to be in order for them to compete on a national level. I would expect that in year 2, it takes another step forward. And then by year 3, we're like, yep, now it's time to see if the Bill Belichick experiment will work. I think it is the most fascinating story heading into the 2025 football season. Locally, in terms of the ACC, this is a year that is about Clemson. It's about Miami. It's about SMU, the top of the league, doing what it's supposed to do outside of the conference early and making sure that when you lose a game in November at Georgia Tech or at Syracuse, it doesn't become a, how the heck did you lose that game? Because if the rest of the league does well enough outside of conference play, then it's a league loss on the road should be an acceptable outcome. But last year, again, it hurt Miami when it probably shouldn't have. But look, all we do, and this is maybe the problem, maybe the beauty of college football, is that it is entirely beholden to the court of public opinion. Victoria, did you have fun?
Of course.
Yeah, of course you did. Whatever. You weren't going to say no.
Still waiting for Bill.
Yes. He's not coming.
No.
Bill is not going to be here.
No.
Victoria's been here. David Modelin. Graham Hill back on the ones and twos. Graham and Paul Ihander will do this tomorrow. You know what that means, Graham? You and Paul are responsible for the show promos.
I need you to
tomorrow.
send me a soccer bet for place our bets. It's only right.
I'll do that later. Enjoy. Have a good weekend, everybody. I'm Adam Gold. See you.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. We're in the offseason, but it doesn't mean me and my co-host